The Hangout is live. Wait, are we live now? I think we're live now. Wait, are we live? Pretty sure we're live. Yes, it looks like we're live. What's going on, guys? What is crack-a-lackin'? We're on episode 4 of my little Let's Talk type series where I pretty much talk about anything. I talk about whatever's on my mind, what's bothering me, what kind of interactions I've had that bothers me. I don't know, whatever, really. I do kind of want to address something because to be fair, a lot of people didn't know that I was starting my new job, so therefore I wasn't going to continuously go back and forth with them about the drama that took place. So I do kind of want to address that a little bit. Not a whole lot, obviously, but a little bit. I want to at least give them the courtesy that, hey, I recognize what you brought up. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's a form of respect, kind of. You know what I mean? All right, let me see if I could go to the comments real quick. Creators Studio. Load on the comment section. Here we go. All right, so 2 weeks ago, Kilo Queel. I was talking with him and it was like he wasn't getting it, or he was getting it, or he was just trying to I mean, at first he had some really good points. You know what I mean? Like at first he had some good points, and then I had to end up going and getting ready for some of this from some of the other stuff. Brimstone, stop fucking lying. Oh, little douche weasel wanted to stir the pot between me and Kilo, and I guess he did so accordingly. All right, so I guess I can address some of the stuff with here with Kilo. So Kilo, I did, you know what I mean? Like I tell everybody all the time. I'm like, if you think I'm being a hypocrite or whatever, and I've said this I don't know how many times, and if you could go back, I mean, like I've stated before, we're allowed to change our opinions on things. You know what I mean? We're allowed to evolve over time. It's no secret that people change their mindsets on a lot of things. You know what I mean? This is how we evolve. This is how we move forward. Kilo, I said to point out some of the stuff, right? And it's in one of the things he says, there were numerous times you and Rambo talked about politics and Rags not even there. Look, I've listened to all those while at work over the last few weeks. You could have talked about Rags pivoting conversations midway through someone's response, or how it was constantly interrupting people with random nonsense. Nope, you take the hypocrite approach and try to distance yourself from your own behavior, blaming Rags for all of your shortcomings, and YouTube is basically what his podcast was. So he thinks that I'm blaming Rags for a lot of stuff, and I wasn't, right? Like the thing is I was literally in the middle of a stream talking with a few friends, and our names were brought up into another podcast that we had nothing to do with, right? They were actually literally talking shit about us for no apparent reason, okay? I didn't do anything. I was literally in my own thing, doing my own thing. And then one of my buddies in this stream said, "Oh man, they're talking shit about us," and I'm like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" He's, "Oh yeah, they're also in a podcast right now, and they're running their mouths about us." I'm like, "Why? Like, what the fuck why are they running my name through their mouth? Like, I didn't do shit." You know what I mean? And that's where all this comes from, pretty much. It's not as a big a deal now as it was then, because it did bother me. It pissed me off a little bit. You know what I mean? So. That being said, Kilo, like, I know you, hold on, doesn't care about views, keeps a more popular YouTuber on podcast. So, funny thing is I brought this guy on without even knowing who he was. And I love how you guys, like, are willing to suck this dude's dick so hard that you're not even looking at the entire situation, right? So I went through and I was looking for a number 4 for the podcast, right? I was looking for a number 4, and At the time, it was just me, Shane, and Rambo, and we were looking for a number 4 for, just so we could have another person to bounce ideas off of, right? And Rambo says, "Hey, what about this guy named Rags?" I'm like, "Who's Rags?" I didn't know who this guy was at the time. And he said, "Well, he's a pretty good YouTuber. He doesn't like dealing with opinions too much in his videos. He likes to try to keep it about the facts." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I hit him directly up on Twitter, and evidently he had just made his Twitter that night. So I'm like, "All right, cool. I'll hit this guy up." He answered back and he said, "Sure, I'll totally do your podcast with you." I'm like, "All right, cool." So we ended up getting into a call, and everything seemed to go pretty damn good. You know what I mean? Like everything was going pretty smoothly. Everything was fine. We played Battlefield 1 together. We were laughing. We even had a few videos with some random people in our community that were fun. I don't know, it was all good, right? It was a good vibed conversation that we've had. Everything was great. And it was fine, you know? Um so that night, I go to his channel for the first time, and I saw that he was a bigger YouTuber, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, this guy's at 80,000. What the fuck is this guy talking to me for?" You know what I mean? And he said he didn't care. He said, "No, it's not a big deal." He's all, I do video responses to everybody and whatnot. And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, thank you." I said that to him. I said, "Thanks." I'm like, "Thank you for doing this with us. I mean, I wasn't expecting someone like you to be interested in something like this from YouTubers that are much smaller than you yourself." And he said it didn't matter. Right. So I was like, cool. So everything was going good. Everything was fine. Um, there were some situations that took place, and I remained to keep them quiet. You know what I mean? That were a little kind of weird. And it's fine though. You know what I mean? Like that's between me and him, and that's fine. I'm not gonna put that shit out here. I just think it's weird that all you guys that are like defending this guy to the end of the earth during the time that we're having our back and forth of bullshit here on YouTube, and that's what it was. It was all bullshit. Um, I mean, you guys didn't even want to look into anything really. You were just Rags is, he's like Jesus tier, and he can't do any wrong, and so you're gonna suck his dick. You know what I mean? Rags jumps in, and his shit got put into spam. I didn't do that. Let me go ahead and approve. Let me see. Approve this comment. Oh no, it was yeah, because he says lying about people the podcast. That's what Rags put on the thing. And then somebody spammed a link to him. So evidently I was lying about him. I don't even think the guy listened to anything of it really. He was just running his mouth during the whole drama. I mean, it's been pretty silent lately, so I'm not trying to say there's drama now. You know what I mean? This was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, right after I just got the news that I got this job. Um, and I try to keep this peaceful for the most part. You know what I mean? I did at the very beginning. In fact, I was telling everybody, no, we're good. He helped us out. I'm forever thankful, and I still am. You know what I mean? I still am thankful. I just don't show somebody respect that decided to turn their backs on me for the sake of hanging out with people or talking to people that he doesn't like. You know what I mean? That's what it all comes down to. Like I got the DMs to prove it. He admitted this to one of my followers, and it's all good. You know what I mean? It's all good. He didn't like the people that I talked to, and that's what it comes down to. So, I mean, that is what it is. Again, this has been like 2 weeks. So, like I said, it's not that big of a deal now. The only reason why I'm addressing it now is because I just remembered that there was a conversation going on between me and Kilo, and I kind of wanted to sort of, I don't know if you want to call this an olive branch to anybody, but I just, I'm just, like I said, I'm pretty much over it. Like I said, like 2 weeks ago. So, but I just wanted to sort of, kind of update everybody on that because I don't, like I'm not nearly as salty as I was. I'm not as salty as I was. I'm just disappointed now. You know what I mean? Like I'm not mad. I'm not angry. Not pissed. Just disappointed. But it's all good. I got a job. I've been focusing on that. So things with online stuff haven't really hit me very hard. You know what I mean? because I've been so focused on my job. So that helps a lot. Trust me, that actually helps. It breaks up the monotony. And when you're on YouTube for so long, and you worked a part-time job. Wait, it says we're okay. No, we are online. What the hell? And you work a part-time job, and it allows you to spend more time on YouTube than you initially wanted to. You get into that atmosphere of people doing what they do and saying the bullshit they say, and it starts to affect you. You know what I mean? And it never really used to affect me before. You know what I mean? Situations like this have come up before where people have lied and started a bunch of shit, and it used to never bother me. I used to be that kind of person where I would just walk away from it. You know what I mean? I would just walk away from it, wouldn't care, I wouldn't even address it. But as I'm getting older, it's like I still expect people to be held to a certain standard, right? And I've always told people, like, I'm not going to hold them to standards that I myself can't uphold. You know what I mean? But evidently, being honest with people, it must be a very, very rough thing. What the hell? Is my shit live? Yeah, it says it's live. Total views, hours, peak concurrent. Okay. Where in the hell? What the hell is going on with this? Like, for some reason, this thing is being a pain in the ass. Oh, hey, Cyrus. Yeah. I'll get you in here. Sorry, I was looking for the chat, dude, and it fucking, for some reason, it just fucking, it fucked up on me. Okay, hold on. No. Here we go. Oh, wow, I'm talking really loud. Fuck that. Okay, if I blow you guys' eardrums out, I do apologize. I really am sorry. Leo. Yeah, you know what, dude? It for some reason it had a lot of issues. Fucking whatevs. Okay, let me add you to the conversation. DM. Yeah. Okay, so what the hell? There you go, sir. I sent you the invite, comrade. Oh man, I tell you, I heard you. I heard you. Yeah, I'm just trying to catch up with people. I don't get to talk to very many people anymore. Cyrus is like the first person I've actually gotten to talk to in the last week or so. Shane's out sick. Pete's out sick. Rambo's like, he's on an early schedule now, so I don't get to talk to very many people. But we got some topics. I believe. I sent it to I sent it to you, Cyrus. Cyrus Martin of the Martins. Yo, Paragon. Holy shit. What is going on, my dude? It's been a minute.
Yo. How are you being?
Doing good.
Cool.
Gonna see if I can. Let's see. Oh my goodness. What? What are you yelling at me for? My cat is yelling at me. What'd you do to her?
I have an effect on felines. And canines also.
Evidently. You dirty slut.
I am the kryptonite for dogs. Ask them.
The kryptonite for dogs. What the fuck? What in the world, woman? Everybody's asleep in the house, so I'm thinking, hey, I could easily just get on here and stream. And next thing you know, my cat's behind me yelling at me. Like, what the fuck?
Maybe your cat has things to contribute. You know. You ever think about that?
Does anybody know how to speak feline in heat? Because,
Oh shit! Feline in heat.
yeah.
That's a heated topic.
Whoa! Stupid. Oh my gosh. So, what do you want to talk about, Cyrus? There's got to be some stuff. You said Trump, and now we talked about a little bit of it last time. So, what else is new that came up with it?
Well, it depends on if you believe the news or if you think it's all fake news.
Well, to be fair, some of it is fake news, so we got to be a little bit more specific.
Yeah. Okay. So, Trump had some things to say about video games recently. I'm sure you heard all that.
Oh yeah, last time we talked about it, it was he said he was looking into talking to some people or whatever, and I don't know. I don't really take everything the man says seriously, so
Yeah. So, I guess it was all over social media today once again because
of course.
it's so fucking ridiculous, this idea that he has that video game violence violence is being caused because of video games or whatever. Well, your favorite dude in the world on Comedy Central, Trevor Noah, actually did a video, like a response to Donald Trump, talking about how ridiculous this is. So you might find yourself like actually on the side of Trevor Noah.
Well, I mean, I'm willing to listen to opposing opinions and ideas if people are actually talking to me, or if if it's being presented in a way that it's not super fucking aggressive to the point like you just want to say fuck it and not listen to it.
Yeah. Well, what I find funny about the video game thing is, in the 90s, Lieberman and all these other people went after video games, and it was a Democrat thing, right? And they were all like patting themselves on the back, talking about how, oh, we're doing something about violence because we're going after video games. And now that Trump is talking about possibly games and movies and stuff, the Democrats are like, well, that's horrible and wrong, and we would. It's like, come on, you guys just.
I made that very distinction. Was it like last year or 2 years ago now, in a video where I've talked about political sides changing principles, and it's true. Like, it's so true. Like, the left from then is like the right now, it's funny. Like, all the things that these people were fighting for back in like the early 60s, they are vehemently against now. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, since when did the left become the right, and when did the right become the left? Like, I'm trying to figure this one out. Like, where did we switch back? Like, I want to know.
Well, I think if you go far enough one way or the other, it switches. Like, like if you go if you go too far right, it turns to the left. Like, it's like a globe, like like you go too far west and all of a sudden you're in the east.
Oh, fuck. Makes sense. Why not? Let's just go with it, right?
That's
makes sense to me.
They flip around.
It's just crazy. I wonder when we're gonna flip around again, dude. That's what I want to know. When's that gonna happen?
It's like the polls need to shift, right? Like maybe it's the political polls need to shift.
Political.
I don't know. I just think Trump. Honestly, some people say that a lot of times he'll say things depending on whoever was the last person he talked to. He kind of.
I think there's truth in that, actually. Because his mind switches so fast on a lot of things, and one week it'll be about gun control, then another week it's about video games, and then one week it's we got to do something about fucking, I don't know, the fucking penguins in the Antarctica, they're dying. I don't know, like he switches his shit so quickly. And it's so hard to know when he's actually being serious on a lot of things because some of the shit the guy says is just comedic. Like some of this, like his Twitter, oh my god, I love his Twitter. Okay, his Twitter is amazing.
He did something today that I thought was curious, and I'm interested to get your opinion about. It's not related to video games though. So he's decided that we should put a tariff on the import of steel and aluminum coming from other countries, and make it basically what he's trying to do is support American production of aluminum and steel and discourage the import of aluminum and steel. Now, the problem with that is that the American steel and aluminum production industry in the United States employs something like 150,000 people, and it's really not as big a business as it used to be. Unfortunately,
that's because we import everything, right? Like that's
one
of the bigger reasons.
That's part of it, but here's the thing: the manufacturing in the United States that requires aluminum and steel in order to do business, for instance, the companies that produce canned goods and beer and soda pop and things like that, and car manufacturing, accounts for like something like 35 million employees, and it's like the difference of impact that these tariffs are going to have on like supporting the American aluminum and steel production versus the detriment that it's going to place on consumers in the United States and also the manufacturers of goods that require those aluminum and steel is like not even close. Like the benefit is like almost nothing compared to what it's going to cost us.
All right,
so,
one second.
Very strange.
I'll tell you what I think about that in just 1 second. Shane, what's up, dude? Do you spoken enough to get into the chat and this? Like I can send you an invite link if you want. You jump on. Well, I know his head's killing him. I miss you, man. I don't get to talk to you very much.
We do. I just hope like Shader's that he hasn't had like an uprising from those girls he keeps in that hole, you know.
Well, that's probably where he got his headache from.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Escape attempt. Somebody hit him over the head, you know. Gotta get out in the street and catch him, drag him back. A lot of work.
It's fucking stupid.
Good news is you keep them starved so they can't run too far too fast, you know. You just go out
I like the method of just trank darts, you know. Trank darts are pretty cheap.
He says he added 2 more.
Awesome. So the import tariff. Okay, so here's the thing, right? So I would support the import tariff on one condition. If this man was able to open up the industries wider and like actually make corporations expand into other states besides just being in the Midwest or Midwest, Mideast, whatever. If corporations were willing to expand to fill the gaps and to make sure that there isn't going to be any massive detriment in the meantime, like if he's able to do that, then I would be like, okay, that sounds good. But then if he can't do that, and like you said, it's going to cost us more in the long run, then that's stupid. You know what I mean? It's fucking retarded.
Yeah,
you have to have one hand helping the other. You can't just like cut off one side and expect everybody else to just sort of fill the gaps in, because a lot of these industries require expansions, especially if it's going to come into the cost of import tariffs. Like fuck, dude, like they're gonna have to fucking expand. They have to expand. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Especially if he's saying that he's going to bring jobs back, he's got to make sure that these corporations are willing to fucking expand to as far as like the far west and the far east, not just in the mid United States. I mean,
yeah, but you're not going to grow jobs by costing an industry that's like 80 times larger than the production than the American producers of metals, like the all the companies that produce products. That's like the amount of you're going to lose. They're going to lose so many employees and so much business because of the tariff. In order to make that up by increasing the size of the industry that produces those products, I mean,
Which
you would
is
have
mining,
to.
right? Mining
Well,
industry is one of the
yeah.
biggest suppliers of metals and elements. So,
What's up,
and
guys?
hey, what's
What
up,
up?
man?
What up?
What's going on, dude? How's the head of yours?
I don't quite know yet. I just got up from like a 4-hour nap, so I mean, but I feel decent at the moment. So enough
Man.
to add a couple more women to that hole. Cyrus.
There you go. There you go.
Nobody,
Two
likes,
more for the hole.
nobody likes a quitter. There you go.
Pretty soon, I'm going to be like Ethiopia. I'm going to have my own starving culture of just. Well, this will be white women, so I guess not like Ethiopia.
Well, I mean, you didn't have to work as hard. You know what I mean? I mean, you had pumpkin spice. You had Montel Williams on. I mean,
what's really funny about that is for like the last few weeks, Sandra's been burning pumpkin spice wax in one of those wax burner things.
Ooh, could that be one of the reasons why you have a headache though? Like,
maybe, probably.
Dude, any of that kind of stuff gives me a really bad headache. Maybe that is what it is.
No, seriously, because like you didn't start getting this headache until just a few weeks ago, right? Like this is
like I can come up with like a million reasons of why I have a headache, but what I can't understand is why I wake up and can't walk. And then if I can get that to feel better, my head goes away, or like my headache part goes away.
What do you mean? What do you mean you can't walk? What do you mean by that?
I mean, one step, two step is not happening. Like I wake up and in the middle of my back, it's just a lot of pressure. Like, have you ever jammed a finger?
Oh, you mean
like,
yeah.
All right. Well, my spine feels like a jammed finger, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
I thought you meant a different kind of jam.
Oh well, that too.
Oh man, I missed you, dude. I haven't talked to Shane in fucking weeks. It feels like.
Yeah, dude. Man, it has been like a couple weeks, I think.
This job, like at the beginning of it, just really started killing me. Like I couldn't even get out of bed. I slept for like 14 hours one time because my back was hurting so bad. I was like, fuck. I'm like, being fat and doing this job is not a good idea.
Well, what you cover like 10 miles a night or some shit like that, right?
Yeah, it depends. Like if it's a busy night, it's like 15.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep. But like what I was getting at, Si, is like they're starting to open up a lot of mines in Nevada and Arizona.
Grand Canyon, right, is becoming one.
Yeah, Grand Canyon, new mining corporate is coming in, and they're gonna be opening them up. Mining is like booming out here again. Like it's ridiculous. I mean, I didn't really understand why, really, because Arizona, Nevada, like 90% of their mines have been shut down for like decades. Like,
have they been tapped to their full potential though? Because like
no, they ended up having to shut down because of corporations losing their rights to their land or whatever to fucking mine. So like instead of going back through the state and getting permits again and getting surveyors out here to redo the land, redo the land surveying, they said fuck it, and they just went back over to the East Coast and like up into the north. So yeah,
because that was one thing, especially in Northern California. Like every town was famous for like some kind of different mine, so you didn't really have to worry about any reopening because they've already mined the shit out of everything.
Yeah. We'll see what happens, Sai. Like I hope he does more than just be like, oh, we're gonna put a tax on the fucking import. Yeah, that sounds.
Well, I don't know. I know his own people are urging him to back off of this because of the damage that it's going to do to all those other companies. But we'll have to see. Plus, you got to think about the environmental damage it's going to do when we start having a lot more mining operations for aluminum, especially because they pull aluminum basically out of soil and dirt and rock.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
With Trump in office, though, you really think they're going to care about what they do to the environment? I mean, I'm just saying, like the guy didn't he like cut the EPA like what in half, pretty much?
Yeah, I mean, Trump's he's in the rich people business, right? So he's gonna try to help out his buddies. And
well, didn't the EPA also like do a bunch of shady shit?
Yeah,
I mean,
they did, and they deserved like basically what they got. But didn't he want like more power plants, and he didn't care for clean energy?
Oh, probably. I don't remember.
I mean, I'm personally okay with that. That's what drives America. But if it fucks shit up, it fucks shit up. I mean, we've been doing it forever.
Well, like even without Trump, though, look at what happened to BP Oil. Like fucking those fucking idiots lost hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of gallons of oil in our oceans.
Yeah, I remember when
fuckers can't pick a good drill spot to save their lives.
Dude, they're fucking idiots. They're stupid.
What was that? Deepwater Horizon or whatever the hell it was, where it was like shooting oil into the Gulf of Mexico for like 2 months.
Pretty much, yep.
That was bad. It was really bad.
And that was before Trump. You know what I mean? That was way before Trump. That was with Obama. So and Obama didn't even fucking force his Obama could have been like, okay, well, we're gonna tax the shit out of you guys, and if you don't clean this up, we're gonna see those CEOs. We're gonna throw your asses in jail for environmental damaging. Like, I mean, he could have done all that, but he didn't. Like, Obama was just kind of like, okay, we'll throw in a, here, you guys pay for this and you guys cover this, and that's it.
Well, BP was like here in Texas, because this happened in the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah. BP was like everywhere here for like 4 years, like kissing everybody's ass. Like throwing money around, like, hey, look how good we are. Here's a bunch of free shit. Everybody loves BP, right? Because they were scared shitless of what, the public like outcry, But from what I understand, as crazy as this sounds, the oil that got released into the Gulf of Mexico didn't really hurt the environment that much.
Isn't that like a dirty ass body of water anyway? Like from
apparently a lot of the oil was consumed by sea life, like bacteria, which got consumed.
Because fish aren't slimy enough, right? I mean,
yeah. And everybody fries their fish anyways. Who gives a shit, right? Just put a little oil.
And if it catches on fire, you know how much of that oil went into that fish. Like,
I like my fish stick slipping right out my hand. You don't even know.
Pretty much. But I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that he was pushing for this and all his own people were trying to tell him not to do it. And I was like, well, here we go. Something's happened with this guy, like he's like going against what you would expect him to be for, and he's for things you would expect him to be against. Strange.
Honestly, I think Trump is going to crack. Like not like insulting the guy or anything, but he's already under like a tremendous amount of pressure, and he's got like fucking 25 different, if not more, groups gunning for him every day. He's pretty old. I mean, I expect him to just have a nervous breakdown. I would.
Dude, yeah. Why would you want that job? What a horrible job.
What's funny is like he told them like, I only want like $1 or $2 to do this job.
Yeah.
And he donated the rest of his money. So we'll see what happens.
Dude can't even have a fast food meal without like 100 different like publications picking up on what he ate and how many Diet Cokes he had.
Oh, remember when he had KFC on the fucking plane?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you would have thought yeah.
And they turned it into some race baiting thing, and all he was doing was eating.
Like, yeah.
Shit.
I was only upset that he was eating a piece of chicken with a knife and fork. I was like, what are you doing,
Yeah,
dude?
it's like you're supposed to get your fingers greasy, motherfucker. That's what it's for.
You dainty bitch.
How dare you? Didn't he do that with a piece of pizza too or something?
Probably.
I don't know.
I don't think he eats anything with his Tyrannosaurus Rex hands, really, to tell you the
His
truth.
little hands. That's why he won't do it because never mind. I'm not eating it.
Well, I mean, if he put a drumstick in his hand and you saw the size comparison, it's over for him. So
Oh man.
Poor Trump. Poor Trump.
You guys are bullies.
I know. How dare you? Like, he's just a hard-working American out there doing the best job he can. He's just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. You know, been in trouble with the law since the day he was born. Anyway.
well, I mean, it all started with that cool loan of $1 million.
Oh, the small loan that he got from
Yeah.
his father? Yeah.
Yeah, very small loan.
The small loan. That shit so cracks me up when he said that shit. I was like, did he just say a small loan?
What's up, Infinite Retro?
Wait, is that Ben?
Oh,
Ben.
shit. Here we go.
There we go.
Right. What's up, boys?
Don't be bringing that emu shit up in here.
That's hello and emu retro.
There you go, Ben. Click that link if you want to come in here. I figure since our haters watch this, might as well give them something more to hate on.
Speaking of that, so I get on Twitter for the first time in days today, and I have a tweet from Stonesy.
Of course you do.
Apparently, you and Rambo did something to him. I don't know what it is. He won't tell me. He said, if I want to know, and his exact words were, go ask my boys, Brim and Rambo. So I asked Rambo in the podcast group chat, and he says he has no fucking idea what he's talking about. So I don't know, but he's making a video.
Bro, I went and I'm like, dude, like I haven't even been in here for like forever, and he's like running his mouth about me. So I'm like, okay, whatever.
I talked to Stonesy the other day. I was actually quite a bit on Twitter.
You know what's funny about Stonesy is like if you get him into a chat, like a voice chat, he'll be somewhat logical and he'll use common sense there. But for some reason, I don't know what it is about that kid, but you get him on social media and he goes from a logical and commonsensical type of dude into like the weirdest fucking guy ever. Like he'll find any little thing to whinge on about you. And that's all he's done lately is like find things to whinge on, and that's all he's done. I don't know what the fuck his issue is. I just muted him.
So
I'm like, fuck
you don't know what it is that you did or whatever?
Dude, I have no idea. I have no fucking idea. I
didn't think so because like I still check the alerts on my phone, and none of it was bad.
He's been muted by me for probably about 3 weeks now. So I don't know what it could have been. Like I don't talk to the guy.
Maybe it's because you muted him.
Yeah, maybe
because I muted him.
Maybe he like sometimes people take silence as an answer. Like maybe he asked you questions that.
Oh, probably. I don't care. Like I told him before, I wasn't going to talk to him.
Maybe it was like he texts you and he's like, "Hey, so I like he has this like come to Jesus moment where he's like, you know what, man, I was being an ass and I'm sorry, dude." And I was gonna,
you know what's funny about that is he actually did something like that with me the last time we got into a voice chat. No, he was like he didn't have a full on come to Jesus moment, but he did say, I was a bit of an asshole to you, Brim, and he admitted it, which was nice.
We're all assholes.
But then he like he goes right back to it though, and I'm just like, dude, I don't even talk to you. Like, what are you going on about? And the next thing you know, he's going to be, hey, what's up, Ben?
You spent some time with those girls in my basement, haven't you?
That's a side effect of too much cocaine snorting.
Well, that's all they get is cocaine and hot pockets. So, yeah.
But,
we'll geek the next time you go down on your missus. Just do that.
See, I'm no good at the SpongeBob laugh because Brimstone does that one. But I tried doing that Patrick thing. That she didn't talk to me for like a day. So
can you imagine that shit going down on your woman? You're like,
yeah. And it doesn't help that my kids are really into SpongeBob, so like she was reminded of it constantly. So yeah, it was fun.
What's a vagina, SpongeBob?
Like, speaking of that, she's been eating seaweed lately, and I don't know why. Like, she bought it, and I'm like, "Did you buy that on purpose?" I mean, she goes, "Yeah, it's good for you, and it's a good snack." And I'm like, "That's nice." I mean, so how much did SpongeBob charge you for his grass clippings?
You know, it'd be fucking hilarious if she comes back and says, "Well, I'm pregnant."
No, not hilarious.
Dun, dun, dun.
You don't understand, Cyrus. My entire life is nothing but kids all day long, so it's not funny. It's really not.
It's hilarious. What are you talking about?
I have to order a new insurance card because my 1-year-old pickpocketed me and flushed mine 2 days ago.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
And she was quick. I didn't even notice till she was in the bathroom.
she been planning that shit. It's like she waited for a moment, saw the opportunity, you know, had it all worked out, like timed out, like a heist.
It doesn't help. They still make these cards out of fucking paper. I mean,
Oh shit! What's up, keyboard? Oh shit! But yeah, so I was just gonna say this. I muted him. He's probably gonna bitch about how I muted him, and like a lot of people think like because you have the freedom of speech that people have to hear you out, and that's not how freedom of speech works.
no, we have freedom of listening too. So
Yeah, same thing. And so instead of blocking him like a douche, I was like, okay, I'll just mute you. Because he was like annoying the fuck out of me. My phone was blowing up. And I was like, you know what? I don't got time to deal with you. So I said, fuck it. And I muted him. And he's probably going to whinge on that too. He's going to be a little whingy bitch on that. So
I think that was my fault.
I think so too.
What was your fault?
what, you pushed Stonesy or whatever? You caused the avalanche?
No, I didn't mention any names. I just mind fucked him. I just said, I can't remember what I said. It was on my Twitter. You can go to my Twitter, guys, and check it out. It's called right.
What the fuck?
Right. All I did was like, I can't. Oh, hell, I'll see if I can find it. I was basically said, yeah, I know all about you, man. Fucking, you're, people don't think highly of you or call it or whatever. I didn't mention any names, so he's mind fucked. That's probably why he's like doing that, because I mind fucked him hard. So my bad. But yeah, I didn't mention any names.
Keyboard. I muted Stonesy.
I didn't mention any names, but that's how easy it is. Like,
oh yeah, like, well, he's easily like riled up. So he'll tell you to not take things seriously, but then he'll go in on people and take it seriously while he tells you not to take it seriously. Like, okay, yeah, because that's how this works.
Hang on, what did I said? Okay, hang on. What was it? Hang on, I was having a rain.
Is Retro getting intimate, or did Cyrus fall asleep?
No, that was both. Both.
He's sucking dick right now, so Cyrus is on this dick sucking thing now, so you
it's a habit. I've been trying.
And apparently, I was a bully.
That was die hard, man.
Wait, you were a bully?
No, yeah, because Top Hat said that I got like mental problems or something, which duh, right?
And this in breaking news, the sky is blue and water is wet.
The sky is wet and blue's blue. Anyway, and so I turned around as a joke and I said, "This is funny coming from the guy that's on the liver transplant waiting list or whatever," because the cunt's always drinking. Right, it was just it's just a joke, but apparently that's bullying now.
Oh no!
Anyway,
that is, you know what? That is horrible. How dare you say such a thing?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
and don't judge his life decisions, even though they're self-destructive.
you a bully?
No, someone else. No, someone else. Because obviously, like, you know, people see what everyone's tweeting, so you know they just jump in and stuff. And then I had what's that gay giraffe banana? What's his name? Fratanga. He's like, oh, are you afraid to? No, it wasn't. Was it him? Someone else. They go, oh, you're afraid to tag them when you're talking about them. Yeah, I think it might have been Stonesy or someone that said that, and I'm like, dick shit, they followed me on here, right? What am I going to tag them for? They have actually followed my Twitter. I mean, you know, do I need to send out a special invitation for them? Like, if they fucking read it, whatever.
Yes, dude. No, that's rich coming from Stonesy and from Tom, because
how dare you say something about someone without tagging them? That would be almost as bad as if like you made a video about somebody and didn't let them know ever, and they had to find out on their own like months later.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you've gone through that, right, Cyrus?
Oh, I don't know. That sounds familiar now that I mentioned.
Actually, he goes, Stonesy goes, pretty much 90% of people who know you online think you're a joke. So millennials, no worries.
90%. How
does that
know all the people that know you, dude? Like,
yeah, that's a lot of research.
And then I said, because
90% of any group know you. Oh, dude, you're popular.
Yeah. And because because everyone needs proof, I said, oh, nice false statistic. And he goes, nah, pretty sure almost everyone. So that's, awesome. Almost everyone who knows you online thinks you're a fucking joke. And then I said, LOL. So everyone, do you? I know loads of people who don't think that. Like my 10 fingers. I mean, I didn't go on to, because it was like talking about Rags. And I said, I didn't go on to Rags Discord and try to convince his followers he was full of crap, which actually Rags tried to do on mine. But Rags did. Oh, that was funny. Oh, hey, how can you like Infinite Retro? Wah, wah, wah. And then Stonesy goes, you're telling me lots of people online like you. Okay, name them. Right? So, right? And then I said, sure, man, let me get out my diary of fucking people, you fucking weirdo. And then he said, you said they exist. Name them. If you can't name these people that corroborate your story.
Yeah, he's fucking.
Oh, wow.
I hope you never get arrested for murder.
People
I demand you go and ask every person you know whether they like you or not.
You know how long that will be? I got a lot of people that I know.
It must be documented. We must you like it sit around like
you got my vote, Retro. I like you.
Yeah, I like you.
Oh yeah.
Write that shit down.
So
right now.
here's the thing that cracks me up, right? Like, this motherfucker says 90% of the people that Infinite Retro knows, he is pretty sure that they don't like him. But he doesn't want to name names as to who these people are. But when you say, well, I know a lot of people, he wants you to corroborate this and prove it by you naming names when he wasn't willing to do that in the beginning, because he's the one that came up with that fake statistic. Like, I don't understand that kind of stupidity. I never.
Hang on. I think we're missing the larger picture here, which is
how
90.
Can he be?
No, the point is 90% of the people he knows know who you are, dude. How about that? That's fucking awesome.
He's basically saying you're the next Rags, dude. You're popular.
Yeah, dirty tampon. Here I come.
You.
Well, I called Rag. I named Rags when he got back into the server for Game Talk. I named him Communist Dictator. It was
he has his own special role up at the top.
Yeah, so anytime he's on, and if he's in that server, I know for a fact that he'll be in there, because it'll pop up with Communist Dictator. Now, it was a joke, but it was also kind of not a joke, because his whole reasoning for shitting on me was because I'm friends with you and Cyrus. And I think it's funny that this fucking guy doesn't understand that just because you have a difference in gaming opinions or PC versus console or whatever it may be, just because you have a differentiating in an opinion doesn't mean you have to cut yourself off from those people. Right? It's fucking games. It's gaming, for fuck's sakes. It's not life and death. It's literally arguing about video games. And it's funny because I tried to tell him that I've been friends with you, Ben, for a long ass fucking time, right? Oh, nope, I'm lying. I am such a liar.
90% of that time you may not have been, right? Just saying.
I think he's got a point. If I was friends with you, I wouldn't want to be friends with a guy that was friends with me. What?
Like I know a guy that knows a guy.
Could that be a 90% cut at one point or no?
I'm just being disingenuous again. Don't worry about it.
Will you stop that shit, Cyrus?
Isn't that funny how someone cries out against disingenuity? Like they're like just as bad, if not worse. Like I find that funny. Like, I mean, come on. It is kind of humorous when you think about it. I mean,
I don't know what you could possibly mean by that.
Like I said, now that I work, like now I'm full time. Like this doesn't really bother me as much as it did. That's what I was gonna tell you, Shane. Was like since I've started working, like this stuff just isn't as big of a deal to me as it once was. Like it doesn't, because I'm not home thinking about it. You know what I mean? I'm not home dwelling on the fact that this dude like fucking lied out of his ass.
Oh, so you see what I replied to him with then?
I replied to who with?
Stonesy.
Oh yeah, I saw the first part. Why did you say some more to him? I have him muted, so his tweets weren't available to me at one point. So.
Oh, they weren't?
Yeah.
Okay, he let's see. Let me pull it up real quick. I said, "What the fuck, Stonesy? Can't you leave shit alone? I mean, fuck, man. Go your own way and do your own thing."
Yeah, for Tonga liked that one. But
yeah.
Jonesy doesn't know how to take hints, but whatever.
Yeah. And I asked him what the fuck happened now. I thought you guys were okay. Then that's when he told me to go ask my boys, Brim and Rambo. And that he doesn't have beef with me and never has. And he won't drag me into it because my boys have beef with him. I'm like, okay.
That makes no sense. And why would he tag you?
Right?
Well, yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe Stonesy has a different way of.
I think Stonesy's hard up for me, to tell you the truth. I think he wants my dick.
Oh shit! I wasn't going there, but I'm also don't.
No, I haven't. Keyboard. I haven't seen any posts about you.
Yeah, the conversations I had with Stonesy for the most part were okay. Although there was the occasional, you're a piece of shit human being kind of thing.
Yeah, every now and then he's got to remind you how crap you are.
Right.
Just for the lol.
He's just being honest and not disingenuous, so you should thank him for that,
well,
right?
I mean, I think it's funny that we can accuse people of flagging videos without proving that it was them, right?
Ooh.
I think basically, just to cut you off because I'm sick of listening. No, I'm just kidding. No, okay. No, I think all of these fucking retards are like Negan out of The Walking Dead. They're trying to convince everyone that they're like this wonderful saving grace, and we're trying to build a civilized society while
Negan's the bad character, right?
Yeah, making examples of everyone, and teaching them lessons and blah blah blah. So they're it's I don't know. I can't understand that mental gymnastics personally. Maybe I'm just too old to not give a fuck. I don't know.
That's because you have those mental problems. So it's a
that's
little hard.
Right. I do. I actually have a nine-page report of mental problems actually. So there you go.
I tried to reason with Stonesy a while back, and I got into a huge comment thing back and forth on Twitter. Again, when you're unemployed, and this is all you have to think about. Sometimes it does get to you. And he called me a fucking wordsmith. Do you know? Like, is that like a good way of like deflecting and saying I don't understand what you're saying because you're using big words? Like,
to me, that's like go play professional Scrabble. I mean, might as well.
Isn't that a compliment? Like somebody?
Yeah, that's like to me, that's a compliment.
He called me a wordsmith, and I was just like, really, dude? Like, I'm trying to reason with you, and you're making me want to hate you more with your stupidity. Like
he said, he's never had beef with me, and I don't think he's ever said anything that nice about me. So, I mean, take it as a win.
Dude.
I know, right?
Maybe he does want the D.
Maybe he does.
I don't know.
Well, there was one time he made some weird, post about how he, me and Rambo knew he was gay or some shit, and I'm like, no.
Oh, is he actually gay?
Yeah, is he gay?
Like he says that he's bi, I think, and he like tried to make that into a thing, and I was like, I don't care. You suck dick. Good for you. Like,
well, is Metro there? Ask him what it means when those people are upset. I mean,
I see. This is the thing I don't understand. Again, maybe I'm just old. I don't know, but like is it sort of like is it a glory thing now to celebrate putting like a penis in your mouth? You know what I mean? Because I don't run up to people and go, hey, I fuck pussy, motherfucker.
You are the most hated type of person in the entire world. You're a white straight male. I mean, you're fucked.
Yeah. Hang on. Doesn't that mean I get a disability for that? You know,
it's coming to that. Plus, you play video games, so you're seriously fucked up in the head, especially in America.
Keyboard says, "Take it from a gay guy. He's gay. He wants Brim's dick."
Oh wow.
Well, you got that going for you, Brim.
Hey, I mean, it won't be the first time, and it definitely won't be the last time.
Yeah. See.
Del Taco drive-through guy, Shane. Remember I told you about that?
Yeah. I kind of want to go there, but I really try to stay the fuck out of Bullhead unless I'm going to your house or the doctor's because it's fucking crazy there. I mean, there in the last like week, I've almost been in a couple of accidents and had to like lock the brakes up on my car, like because I was in Bullhead between like noon and 2, the busiest fucking part of the day. I mean, yeah, place is nuts.
Dude, like, so I've been taking, I've been lucky, dude. I've been taking my Dodge, and I usually leave the house around 3:45, 4 o'clock, and dude, like, I've almost been into a wreck almost every day that I've left around that time. So I tried to change things up today. Somebody almost rear-ended me. I was like, "Fuck, I can't dodge this shit, man."
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Between like 12 and 5, nope.
You're like, fuck that shit.
And if you think you can eat one of the popular fast food restaurants like Taco Bell or anything in Bullhead between those times, nope, there's going to be a line. Giant one.
Dubious Dragon. Morning, man. What's going on? I hope everything is going well with you. Dubious, bruh.
So now that you have less free time, Brim, and you're seeing some of this stuff in a less serious way, this or at least you're seeing it in a way where it doesn't captivate as much of your attention. Like, isn't this kind of dramatic bullshit really ridiculous? I mean,
oh, it's fucking stupid. Like but like I said, when this is all you do for the most part, and you're home a lot, like this shit gets to you. This shit really drives you crazy because it's so benign. It's so stupid, right? And it's even worse now that I have a job and I'm working full time. So
yeah,
working full time doing what I do, I look at the stupidity, and it's, bro, like I'm sort of looking at it and I'm like I don't know why I bothered wasting so much of my time. Right?
It is a waste of time. And like Infinite Retro, you've done a lot of content, I guess is the word, addressing some of this type of stuff. And I know that's because it's on your mind, because it's like whenever I'm more available to the internet, a lot of times, yeah, you are the reflection of your environment, right? Like you are wherever you're present, that's where you're at, and that's what's going to be on your mind.
Yeah, you can't help it because you're thinking about this shit and you're trying to wonder, like, can these people be serious? Like, are these people that petty? Like, that's ridiculous.
Ben, do you ever feel like there's do you ever feel like there's something else, like you need to find something to keep you preoccupied? Because this stuff, I'm not saying like it's a problem or anything. It's just, do you ever feel like you're wasting your fucking time constantly dealing with these people. I mean, I know you're having fun doing it, but like it, you know, in a larger sense, it is a waste of time, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most things are like, you know, I don't, well, put it this way, I'm not losing sleep.
No,
So
but what
I think that's a plus.
Then you're not doing it right.
What I mean is, I think
no, I'm not. I'm disingenuous.
What I mean is, of all the things you could be doing, because you're extremely capable. I mean, I would like to see, honestly, all of us get to a point where we don't even give a shit about any of these people. You know, we're just like, who? Oh yeah, that guy.
Well, and see, well, here's the thing, right? Like, so if I've never heard of the person, it's easier for me to do that. There's no, if there was never any conversation, and if there was no any sort of back and forth or meaningful back and forth, that's one thing. I could easily just be like, oh, okay, well, fuck off. You know, like I don't really need to talk to you.
It's because you have a heart and a brain. So if you haven't heard them, there's no sympathy.
And one of the biggest reasons why this was such a like a slap in the face to me was because, you know, the dude, like I actually thought was cool. Like I thought we were good. I thought everything was great.
Yeah.
Conversations, you know, we've talked a lot. You know, I'm not saying we were the closest of friends because most of the time we saw him mainly only during the podcast. Very few times did we ever get into the community chat with each other and gamed with our community. But when it did happen, we had great times. You know, I've had live streams with this guy on Mixer with Shane and all of us playing Battlefield 1 together. It was
before
fun.
We even knew that he knew Rags. He watched us on Mixer. Like,
well, so I don't mean to trivialize what you're saying, because you have a different relationship there, and your history is different than obviously mine.
Yeah,
you know, I'm a bystander mostly in all this. My involvement was
well, according to him, you're Satan, so I'm just you know, I mean, like I said, he could accuse you of flagging his channel, but he won't prove anything. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, that like,
you think it's just because he wants to fit in with Rags, like kind of thing?
What do you mean?
Didn't you flag Rags or no, Cyrus?
No, I don't even know how to flag anybody.
Okay, well, Rags thinks you did. I'm pretty sure.
I was told that, and I find that very interesting. Rags never, well, in all the times where Rags would, like, if you want to call it communicate with me, because it really wasn't. It was him trying to act cute with his little words and not actually trying to talk to me. And all of the times of that occurring, he never once brought that up. I didn't know about it until like a year after we stopped even trying to talk at each other. So I thought it was really interesting that he was going around telling everybody that I flagged his fucking channel. Like those videos he made about me, saying that I was trying to take down his videos. I had no idea that was the context. Like, in all the times that I responded to him, he didn't say that in the videos. I had no idea that's what was going on in the back, in like he was telling people that's why he was saying that. My responses to him was, how can you say I'm trying to take down your videos when I literally just said right before what you're saying that I would never try to take down your videos? When I didn't realize he's going around telling everybody that I did try to take down his videos.
Dude. Like he's convinced 110% without the shadow of a doubt that you are trying to destroy him.
Well, don't.
You think I'm kidding? I'm not, dude.
But hang on, right? Like, okay, all right. If you have your videos flagged to be taken down, right? Are we talking like a copyright strike here? I mean, did he show any evidence of an actual flag?
He never mentioned it in any video.
He showed evidence of a flag, but you couldn't tie it to Cyrus.
Right, because I don't even know how to do that. I've never looked into it.
So hang on. So he's convinced that you flagged him, but when I said, "Oh, you flagged my video," he's like, "Oh, I'd never do that." Right? I mean, it's hypocrisy at its finest. You know, it's victimhood. So, you know, whatever.
Yeah, it's really stupid, like incredibly dumb what he has said about me and tried to portray me as, because for whatever reason, like you said, Brim, he's portrayed me to his user base or whatever you want to call him, his fan base.
Terrible human being.
Yeah, I'm a garbage human being, a disingenuous asshole who's out to get him. I'm his fucking nemesis. I'm Khan. I'm Khan. He's
You're
Captain
the
Kirk.
Joker to his Batman.
Exactly. You know, Batman. You know, whatever. And
the crazy shit though, like even when I tried to like reason with him about you, he wasn't having it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's when things started going downhill. Was I was like, hey man, maybe you should try to talk things out with Cyrus. He's not really that bad of a guy. He's really cool, actually. I mean, it was like our first time talking together. Remember on our Skype call?
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, like Cyrus is a pretty good guy. Are you sure? He's such a bad dude.
Well, you know what? You just explained.
He wasn't having it. He was absolutely dead set to think what he thought, and there was nothing that anybody could say or do to change his mind. And I'm like, okay.
Well, you just explained why. Because he knew he was wrong. Like, he knew he had made a mistake, and he had assumed that it was me that was trying to take down his videos, and he had gone around telling everybody that. And once it became clear to him, because I honestly think he knows that it wasn't me. Once it became clear to him that he had fucked up to the point to where he was going to have to eat a shitload of fucking crow and admit that he was basically completely wrong. Once that happened, that became an impossibility. There is literally no way that that man will ever admit that he's wrong about something. So I became a manifestation of his mistake. So I have to be discredited, destroyed, shunned. I have to be the worst person in the world, because otherwise he's wrong about something. Oh my God.
Well, at least you finally understand, Cyrus.
Right. So how dare I exist? The fact that I exist is a constant reminder that he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
How dare you call him an idiot, sir?
Well, he is. I mean, he's the smartest idiot I've ever seen. You know,
no,
he does a lot of like self-adulation, like letting everybody know how fucking awesome he is. He does a lot of like stroking his fucking ego in front of everybody. He does a lot of
that whole group does.
He does a whole lot of like telling everybody, that he does research. He'll tell you that he does research. Then he'll quote Nietzsche as much as he possibly fucking can, because that's his favorite fucking dude to go to with quotes. But aside from all that pretentious fucking hollow bullshit that actually doesn't mean anything or have any substance, he's pretty worthless as a human. Like not as a human being, but as a
oh my God, that's pretty harsh as a human.
He's pretty worthless.
I can't really say anything against it because he said worse things about you. So I mean,
well, I'm not saying as a human he's bad. That was wrong. What I'm saying is, as an orator, as a public speaker, as a debater, which, by the way, I have extended an invitation to debate Rags from day one. That motherfucker refused to.
He doesn't know how to debate. Like I'm being honest with you. Like I've gone back and forth with him on things on the podcast. Like, and his favorite line is, "Are you sure this is the hill you want to die on with me?" I'm like thinking to myself, like, what? Yeah, it was over fucking paid mods. Like he was all for it. He was like, "Oh yeah, paid mods. Like people would have to pay to play these mods." And I said, "Fuck that. That is wrong." I said, "No, that is bullshit, and that shouldn't be allowed." I'm like, "Why the fuck should somebody take and dissect somebody's game?"
Oh, I remember him telling you that. You sure this is the hill? Okay.
Yeah, remember that shit?
Yeah.
I mean, I think anybody could, like, I think a fucking 12-year-old could debate Rags, because I don't think that dude, when he's not editing the shit out of his videos, when he's not cutting up his videos and redoing his lines 15 fucking times, I don't think the dude could string two thoughts together. I think he has to read a whole bunch of shit before he actually puts it out there, and like rechecks himself and
Karen
rechecks
Gilland. Himself. Who's Karen Gilland or Gilland?
Oh, she's from she's first started when they had the Doctor, like Doctor Who, the 11th Doctor. Oh no, that's Gilland. Oh, I thought Gilland. Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. Take it back.
And by the way, these
she
little
wants a link. And she's 12.
Yeah.
So
I'm 12. Let me debate.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. I'd love to hear it. These little motherfuckers that follow him around and act like they want to have sex with him because he has a dog avatar. Like any of you guys that want to go tell him what we're saying, which I'm sure you will, because you're looking.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Isn't there a word for that? It's called bestiality.
Well, whatever.
No, what it is, and I hate it, is the fucking people that go, oh, he's a furry, and they want to fuck him because he's a furry. Like, are you kidding me?
Like I'm. You know what? I've stated this before. Like, I think the whole furry phenom or whatever the fuck it's called, phenomenon, it's all fucking stupid. Like it's all fucking retarded. And now, do I discount anybody for doing or being that? No, I just think it in general. I think it's fucking retarded.
I think it's funny that anybody thinks that anything he says or does is sincere. Like I think the furry thing is calculated, just like everything else about him.
See, you know? Cyrus, sorry, I just gotta be real, man. You and I are like Tango and Cash.
Oh, right? Shit!
Right? You're Ray Tango. You know, you're in court being nice, saying the speech. You know, don't want to offend anyone. You know, you want to, you know, because you're a nice guy. You say things really eloquently. But I'm Gabriel Cash, and fuck that little shitburger who thinks that, like, it's not just him. It's like the whole movement of that mentality of these little fucking, you know, erect belly button penile slurping motherfuckers who just think that their shit don't stink. And I pray to God that they never procreate, right? Because
I'm right there.
Like my son's about to be 13, you know, and he's on the internet and even he's heard of rags and people like that. And that's just not through me. It's just through all the shit and things that they see. And even they're laughing at, you know, at his age, you know, which gives me hope that they're laughing at the people like rags and all that, you know, because I think there's a ceiling on that. I mean, and it's just,
yeah. I get what you're saying. Isn't Rags kind of old to be doing this? To be like talking like he's a little kid? Like, isn't he kind of? He's like 20 something, right? How shouldn't you be over this by now at that age where you need to constantly prove to everybody that you think you're smart?
Dragon says, I used to like Rags and their whole crew back then, but he's become a shithead in my eyes. They all act so superior to everyone else. And it's annoying as shit. It's not even about video games anymore.
I don't understand why anybody is a fan of theirs, because it's like, what are they doing that's so amazing?
But here's the thing. But here's the thing. This is something that I called a long time ago. You could ask Shane about this. I said this. I said he's going to become bigger, and he's going to become more fucking narcissistic. And I was right. Like, he's more into himself. More conceited, yeah. Like I said, I mean,
I can't imagine him being more conceited. I've no, like, although I do think that honestly, I don't think he's sincere about anything he says. I think everything he says is just some bullshit.
He was much more willing, like, to listen and easier to talk to at the beginning.
Yeah, now he thinks that everybody's out to destroy him. So like he thinks that. And this is also what he told one of my friends. You know, he said that the truth doesn't matter; it's the intent of the person, right?
You know, somebody that feels like everybody's out to destroy them. The reason they feel that way is because they know they're vulnerable, because they put themselves out there in a very in a way that makes them a target. I have done nothing to Rags. Rags has created his own problems for himself. He has decided that he wanted to be this fucked up version of a like online pseudo intellectual debater, and all that he's done along the way is illustrate to everybody that nothing he says has any substance. He literally just basically copies the Leafies and the Top Hats and the different people like that, and just like vomits their fucking MO up and words it in a snarky little way with his cute little dog that he puts out there so that everybody will like him.
And for some reason he always has to like talk about how he likes to suck dick and being fucked in the ass.
Right. There's nothing sincere about it.
Like it's a little weird. Like I don't know why a response video to like anybody would say that would be like necessary, or like why that would even be have to be a thing.
It's something you would do when you're in junior high. It's not something a grown man would do. It's really bizarre.
Well, the thing
that Levon Castle. I think I got him followed on Twitter. I think you follow him, don't you, Brem? He's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, Levon's cool. Yeah.
Hey, get that motherfucker in here. I want to talk to him. He seems cool.
Levon, I don't know if Rags is gay or not. I don't know. I don't believe anything he says about anything. Honestly, I think that he's a provocateur. I don't believe anything he says.
You know what's funny is like Shane. Do you remember this when we actually confronted him about that, and he wouldn't admit to it?
Oh yeah.
Even though he said in like a chat prior that he was gay, and then we said something about that. He's I never said that. I never said that.
Well, you want to know? You want to know something funny? Not about the gay thing, but he doesn't know jack shit about PCs. Like he's supposed to be
doesn't.
this.
He admitted that to us in a chat. Like
he's supposed to be this like PC elitist.
That's why the name of the podcast changed to the Game Talk, because it was the tech spec, and he's like, I'm not a tech guy. I'm like, okay.
So let's talk about the beginning of that. So, so the beginning of the podcast, right? The very, very, very beginning of it was about helping people. That's what I wanted to do. That's, me and Shane were talking about it. Me and Rambo talked about it. And we're like, that'd be cool. Let's get people more involved with the tech side. Coming from smaller YouTube channels, we figured this would be perfect for other people that like to follow the kind of content that we make. So I was like, hey, this is kind of cool. We could do this, we could help a lot of people out doing this. And Rags, when I first brought it up with him, he said, yeah, okay, sounds good. Sounds like a good idea, right? So we called it Tech Spec. We did our first run of the podcast, and he had little to no fucking input whatsoever. He kept wanting to talk about other things, and it just wasn't meshing well. And so we ended up changing it all together because, like Shane said, he says, well, I'm not a tech guy. Let's change the name to something, And all right, well, let's talk about Game Talk then. Let's do Game Talk. Let's have the conversation that we all have while we're playing games. And that's where that came from, Game Talk. So,
well, the problem is you weren't talking about him. He knows a lot about him.
Well, it's funny. It's funny because he goes on in his podcast and he tells his people that it felt like this was his podcast.
I'm sure it did to him.
I'm like, that's kind of funny. I'm like, because there's times where me and Shane were going on forever, and he didn't say a goddamn thing.
Well, it doesn't matter to a narcissist. Everything belongs to them. So, yeah, he could literally never even show up, and he would still think it was his podcast.
I'm Australian. I'm superior to you. Let me in. What the fuck?
Get Levin in here, man.
Now that I have my other channel, I'm really open to talk more about this motherfucker. So,
I don't care what channel I'm on. I'll talk about him. I'm not scared of that fucking dude. Like I said, it's not a bigger deal to me like it was, because like I said, like I'm pretty much now I'm just talking about it. I'm not talking about it in a sense where I'm actually pissed. I'm just like whatever at this moment.
Well, I'm not mad. I was constrained because I was protecting my gaming channel. And now I'm like, look, I can talk again. That's all I was trying to say.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I know like his ilk will be like, oh, you hear the saltiness.
Oh yes, we're triggered.
The saltiness, the triggering.
Oh, I want them to fucking copy what I said and stick it in a video. That's why I said
it. My thing is like, dude, if you put out an invitation, like if you publicly announce, hey, come talk to me one-on-one like a fucking man. Like if I put it out there and say, dude, why don't you talk to me like you and I talk? If I put it out there and then instead of doing that, You don't, and you don't respond in any other way, except you put out a fucking one-sided video about me. That's like the most pussy shit a person can do, right? I mean,
it's easier to talk about you than to talk to you.
Yeah, I mean, how fucking cowardly can you be? You got to be a fucking bitch of a human being.
Because here's the thing: when you talk to somebody, you have to fucking put your money where your mouth is,
right?
And he was not willing to do that. He is not willing to do that still. Like he even goes on in this random dude's fucking podcast about how you shouldn't waste your time in talking to these people. He was referring to us, by the way.
Hey, which podcast was this?
That fucking scaly fucking lizard guy. Yeah.
Well, that's where he talked. He brought me up.
Yeah, he brought you up. The host didn't even ask about you first off, which I thought was funny. But he goes in on Retro, talking about how Retro is trying to fucking destroy him. I'm like, oh my god, everybody's out to get you, Rags, because you're so fucking important.
Here's my thing. Why would he do that? Why would he go around and tell everybody about somebody trying to destroy him? Why would he do that?
Because Retro is on his fucking mind, dude. He will not admit it, but the host had no intentions, or he had, let me just say this, not intention, but he didn't have a direct question of who's Infinite Retro. He says, "Do you something in the form of do you have people that that disagree with you or some shit?" And he brings up Infinite Retro, which how
defensive do you have to be to force that into a conversation with somebody who couldn't even give a shit about that issue?
Three things. Firstly, Bren, just if you want, did you want that dude into the chat, man? He asked for a link. Secondly, Cyrus, are you cut or not? I'm just joking. And thirdly, Brem's right. And Cyrus, you didn't see the problem is with these people is that they expect to shoot you and you not get up again. But you reacted, right? And you kept reacting, because he's like, oh, hang on, he should just copy his L and fuck off. I've done my piece on him. Shut up, you're done, and that's the end of it. And yet you responded, and didn't take it, and you just didn't take it lying down. He can't handle that, which is why I went after him. I did the original stuff, but when I did the stuff recently, he couldn't handle the fact that I'm just still rolling through with a big grin.
Can we at least say that BG handled you better?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, sort of I think
BG handled it a hell of a lot better than he did. I think Rags kind of.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
See, the thing is though that I liked BG in the beginning because he didn't give a fuck. He said what he wanted, and he didn't let. Broken Games HD. He runs the Weapon Wheel podcast, and so he didn't let shit. He didn't let the audience or anything like that dictate what he was going to say. I thought that's fucking great.
Confused, Cyrus. It's cancer on a stick. That's what it is.
Yeah, right.
I thought it was for Tenga. It was a joke. Oh, sorry.
Don't be joking about that shit, man. Jeez.
Yeah. No. But the thing is though that as he got bigger, and especially back then where there was a period, and Brem knows this. There was a period of time where the console war started to move into a neutral war. Where if you were still one-sided on something, you suddenly became the bad guy because people's purchasing decisions were changing and they were letting that affect them personally against people. So if they were a PlayStation gamer for 8 years and Sony all the way, and then one day somebody gives them a snort of the crack, and they go, I want to buy an Xbox, then the people that they were watching who were still sitting there ragging on Xbox or whatever, all of a sudden you become the bad guy, right? And it's shit because it's hang on a sec, so, and this is the worst part, I'll get to in a minute. So they rag on you for that. And he started doing that. He started sort of, swinging away from that, but it wasn't because of him just being one-sided. It was because he knew that that's what the audience would like. and he would say dumb shit like, "Oh, this is a fucking shit game, but I bought it so you didn't have to." And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? You're gonna waste money on shit that is crap, but you're gonna get it anyway. Be honest, you wanted it. End of deal. Fucking play it. And the worst part about being a YouTuber is that you can't ever change your mind, right? We as YouTubers that like actually make the videos, where we are accountable for every single fucking thing that we do. If we're pro something and we suddenly change our mind and go, you know what, I want to get into this, all of a sudden you're raked over the coals.
Well, I don't mind being accountable. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't mind being accountable for what I say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the fact that we're not allowed to change our minds that I think is bullshit. Like, you're not allowed to evolve as a person, evidently.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just it's shit. You know, and
it's cancerous. It's cancerous as fuck, dude.
Yeah. So
do you know how good it feels to just play your video games and laugh at these guys?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
I'm playing Call of Duty on the new maps right now. Shane.
It's so sad. So sad. It really is. It's pathetic, you know, like that these people have used this type of behavior as their catalyst to build their little shit empires on YouTube. Like, this is who they are. This is the definition of who they are on YouTube. You know, dude, I am perfectly happy to be an irrelevant guy who does my little video game videos and then talk about whatever. I am very happy because I stand by who I am online. I'm happy with the way I've created what I have, and it may not be very big, but at least it's sincere and it's not based on trying to fuck with other people. You know,
I feel you on that, Dragon. Yeah, Cyrus. Yeah, you too, man.
Oh, thank you.
I was trying to answer both of you. Like, I was, yeah. I mean,
I thought I was now going to be known as Dragon. I was like, all right, I got
a cool new nickname.
Oh man, it is something in it. Like like YouTube has become like this tankerous, fucking monotonous bullshit of slob. Just fucking anybody can make a video. Anybody can just, you know, get on a camera and say some random bullshit, gain an audience from it. And because a lot of people agree with them, they're going to assume that they're right about everything they say or do. So,
you know, speaking of like anyone can, you know, just get on camera and say what they want. It's 2018. Why are they still using PlayStation 2 iToys?
Are they really?
I'm not sure if that's what they're using, but some of the quality is equivalent to that. I mean, Obama phones have better cameras than that.
Some people have black and white on the. I'm just
black and white. Now you're just being racist.
Yeah, don't take it to the racist level, Cyrus. That's rude.
I like Ben's camera. I'm fucking with you, dude.
No, that's a filter.
Oh, that's on purpose. I'm sorry, my bad.
That's on purpose.
No, I'm talking the grainy stuff. It's like that when it's not a filter. It's just, it's just crap.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think out of all this, I should have listened to our troll friend Shane, because they were right about that at least.
Right about what?
Rags.
Oh, yeah.
It's just really pathetic and sad that this is what's united all of us. This behavior of shitty people, you know?
Well, I mean, I have a hard time believing that Cyrus could be this terrible person based on simply he has a difference in opinion about video games. Like,
I mean,
some childish shit, dude.
Look at my all of my social media interactions. I stand by what I've done, and then tell me I'm a shitty fucking person, because if I am, you should be able to easily prove that. You should be able to like take a sample of what I've done and hold it up and say, here's an example, here's an example, here's an example, right? And yet the only person or group of people that submit this claim about me as though it is truth, even though it's their fucking bullshit, are the people that are vulnerable to truth.
Right. And Ben, just go ahead and link him the link I gave you.
Oh, I can't fucking. I gotta try and add him on Discord.
I can't find him. Yeah, I can't find him.
We just need like the four last Jaeger days. and do it. I'm going to tell you something, Cyrus.
What did you say, Ben? Is that what they call numbers in Australia? I mean,
what did I say? Digits?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, it didn't sound like that. It's the 4 last. Like, I know what you meant.
Dude, it was fucking 10 seconds ago. Do you expect me to remember that?
But if
how could you do this to be live on television? Right?
I'm sorry.
No. Okay, look, I think the reason why it bothers people like us is because we're not people like them, right? It does. Look, I mean, look, I think I've talked once to maybe Review Tech USA once, and like he's all right, you know, he's probably a bit shallow and shit and blah blah blah, but you know, I don't remember him ever building his like fairly sort of PC centric channel and then mostly multi-console channel on attacking others, right?
No,
so whether you like or don't like a person, you know, whatever, like, but these guys stood on other people and attacked other people and made examples of them in a negative light, and then used all of this political mumbo jumbo to justify what they did, which at the end of the day is basic harassment and bullying to a degree, right? And if people don't believe me, that's the reason why in one of Rag's videos there was this kid that he covered that he was absolutely adamant about A, not linking to the original video like he does everything else, B, not naming him, and C, making sure that if anyone actually did hunt this kid down, that, oh, well, you could just unsubscribe from me. Now, how is it that when I say to him, do it anonymously, it's like talking to a fucking wall? It's like, dude, you did this. You actually did exactly what I'm talking about. So what's the difference? What's the difference between attacking a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old or a 15-year-old or even a grown adult where, you know, you don't have no idea about what they're capable of handling on the other end, all right? And that's when you end up with people like Leafies who make fun of just anyone now, and they don't care because they're so big they can't be touched, right? And and that bothers me, not because they're successful, but because they're successful on the backs of others that were incapable of defending themselves. And then when guys like me and Cyrus turn around and go, "You're a fucking idiot," he can't handle it, right? Well, and he couldn't handle it.
Let me ask y'all this. Like, I've brought up this point with y'all privately, I don't think I've ever said it on a broadcast or anything, but what 20-something-year-old cares about the opinion of a 10-year-old? You know, enough to, like, craft a fucking lengthy response video to them.
Good morning.
You know, that's some weird shit. That who does that? Like, when my daughter was 10, if one of her friends had come over and started saying something that I disagreed with, am I going to stop everything and go in there and go into a diatribe to make sure that my opinion of what they're saying is heard? They're fucking 10-year-old kids, man. They think all kinds of shit. They're basing that on limited information of a 10-year-old. They're children. And you're going to sit there and pick them apart and debate. And you're not debating. You're wrecking them. You're roasting them. And it's like, you fucking weirdo. You fucking strange man. Why are you dealing with a child as though it's a peer? Like, I'm not shitting on children and stuff by saying that's not an ageist statement. That's a statement of fact. A 10-year-old and a 20-something-year-old man, there's no, I don't understand why you're going to even do that. Why are you even going to go look? He posted a video talking about he said he didn't like that game, or he liked that game, or he likes his PlayStation or whatever, and I have to correct that? Who's looking at a 10-year-old's video as though it needs to be corrected?
Right.
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That's like obsessive compulsive fucking weird shit. I'm just saying.
I think it needs to be more or less. It needs to. Oh, don't worry about it, Tristan. What's going on, man?
That's the dude that sounds like Bulletberry. Hey?
We call him Budget Berry.
Yeah, that's Budget Berry. Yeah.
He got mad. Like, I actually like this dude. I told him that, and I thought he's a cool dude. He got mad at me the other day with all this rag shit or something. But I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. Like, just But see, that's the problem.
No dick riding.
But that's the problem is that all of this younger generation they're just fucking wired up. It's like the little like turning thing in the back of the duck's ass is like up to like 11. Everyone's just waiting to just let it go and just go off on someone or find any single thing that they can go off at. And it's like, just chill the fuck out. Yeah, right? Sorry, your master got attacked. Relax. He's a big boy. He can handle it.
Anybody that has an opinion that's different than mine, I have to correct. Yeah. I've got to debunk them.
I think what it comes down to, and honestly, this is what it comes down to. Because you hear him say a lot about freedom of speech, right? And I agree with it. I for one thing, I definitely agree with this freedom of speech, and I don't believe in having to censor other people, right? But I also believe that other people don't have to listen to it, and that's right. And that's where his lines are kind of skewed, because he doesn't realize that in the same breath that he says he has freedom of speech, that other people don't have to listen to him at all.
Yep.
They don't have to respond to him. They don't have to even talk to him.
Yep.
And I've noticed his favorite thing is if people don't, then you're just being a pussy.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ironic when you think about that.
Kind of ironic.
Little irony, a little bit of iron.
It might be disingenuous.
Well, I want to say to Trism, because he got confused about the constant posting one after the other.
What's up, buddy?
And that's the thing is that my whole purpose was to mind fuck him, and it worked. This dude who calls me and Cyrus and all of these other little guys, all of this shit and act like we're wanting to be that. I don't want to be a piece of shit like that. And he is. Quote me. I don't give a fuck. I'm not allowed. I'm allowed to say that. I think he's just a shit person. The way he thinks about the world and the way he's treated people in the real behind the scenes, the stuff that you guys talked about a little while ago.
Yeah.
That actually happened. So my experience is very limited, but I also know about this stuff as well. And so I did that, that fucking Agent Smith punch that he does into Neo in the first film in the train station. He's like, that's what I did to him. I went bang, 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 bang. And I took shit that he did, and I kept just repeating it over and over again. And I add more and I add more and I add more, right? And to use his own words, he now I was living rent free in his fucking mind. He came to my Discord. He subscribed to my channel, right? And is sitting in my Discord asking people, how can they support this man? And it's
that's pretty funny.
And it's like, it's just funny.
That's weird, man. Why would he do that? Why?
It's because the mask fell. He sits there and goes, I don't ask my fan base whatsoever to go after people or keep tabs on them or some shit. And then I had a direct voiced quote from Titanfall Princess's one that he did on her, where he said, oh, don't worry, I've got 83,000 of my subscribers to keep an eye on you and tell me whenever you do dumb shit. What the fuck do you think that is, idiot? That's you keeping tabs. That's asking your user base to keep tabs on someone. So anything that they say, they can come back to you. And then you can keep doing what you're doing, right? All proof, absolute all proof, And I mind fucked him so hard that he brought up another man from another country on a podcast that fucking didn't even ask about me, right? And it worked. It worked 100%, exactly what it did. Brem knows all about it. We used to do that shit all back in the day, right? And it's funny. So
that's how we grew. I mean, we it's funny, right? We criticized. Right. Criticisms, and I agree with you, Keyboard. You're not free from criticism. I understand that. There's a difference between criticizing somebody and making it personal. The criticism should never be personal. It should always come from a place of wanting to see somebody become better. You know what I mean? Helping people realize their mistakes and what they say. I criticized Cyrus on my last cast.
Yeah, and I deserved it.
Or you know what I mean? There's a
Take it, bitch.
very wide, very big, yeah, right. There's a very big difference between what I do with what I criticize or how I criticize versus how Rags does it. And a lot of people, they, you know, they I hear people say like, what was it? Rags sends his people out to attack me or whatever, or they feel like they're being attacked. I've heard that quite a bit actually. And it's because he makes it personal. He insults them in the video. He shits on them pretty much. And, well, I mean, then he got a bunch of, you know, angst teens, as Infinite Retro was just talking about, reacting to that, right? Now, and it's funny because this is where me and Infinite Retro have always disagreed. In fact, me and him have had a back and forth on Facebook over Rags. You remember that shit, right, Ben? Like,
oh yeah,
like yeah. Ben thought I was like straight up just defending him blindly or some shit. And I was like, no, man. Like, I think there's a huge difference with actually attacking people and stuff. But then I finally realized what he was trying to say, right? And it's the way you criticize people.
Well, also there's a difference between criticizing people and lying about them.
That too. Yeah, that too. The lying, I can't get behind that. That is some bullshit.
Yeah, that was my only issue that I ever really had with Rags, is that he to this day has lied about me, and it's in the title of his fucking videos about me. I you know, and say what you want about me, call me an asshole. I am an asshole. Say that I'm kind of pretentious. I am kind of pretentious. Say that I'm a loudmouth and I'm fat and whatever, that's fine. Say that I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. That's true.
You
also,
know what you're talking about.
Well, the thing. Well, here's the thing, Tristan. Like, he wasn't joking about Cyrus, and he wasn't joking about Ben, or he wasn't joking about what's his face, the Geekish Gamer, right? Now, I understand the whole joking around a bit when it comes to the insult. I get that. I mean, some people can take it, some people can't. That's whatever, okay? But, I mean, Cyrus was called a... What was it, Cyrus? You're like a terrible human being?
A garbage human being.
You're a garbage human being?
Yeah, and I'm trying to... He accused me of trying to take down his videos. He goes around telling everybody that I copyright striked him, which I never did. And then... I don't know. It's just one thing after another with him. And then he wants to try to like shame me because I didn't respond to him in a like serious way the first time that we talked or whatever.
Trism, though, he doesn't prove a point. Most of it is lies. So
it's either lies or he relies on the hyperbole to make his point.
Literally, I don't even have to prove that he lied about me. If you watch his video about me, and you actually pay attention to what he says, he literally lies about me. It's not even something I have to prove.
And it's funny because this man's got a comment that I left here on this channel where he says that we were in a podcast lying about him.
Yeah, well, of course, because he can't possibly have ever made a fucking mistake, and he has to be the victim. He has to be the one who's being wronged because everyone else just doesn't understand that he's this great person that's like, you know, seeing the truth that nobody else can see because, you know, he's so much smarter than everybody and they just refuse to see it because they're all simpletons.
Yeah.
Fuck Rags. Fuck that motherfucker.
There we go. About time you started sounding more like me. So no, but see the thing, and the thing is, just to add on to that for Trism, is that I keep wanting to say jism, and I don't mean any offense. It's just what I keep getting in my head.
That's not right, dude. Leave Trism alone. Fucking asshole.
No, I like Trism. He's a cool dude. It's just the word play.
No, too late.
Yeah, too late. I know. It's out there. I spurted it.
You disingenuous garbage.
I know.
We used to talk quite a bit, and Trism's gone through some stuff. He was part of that big old hurricane or whatever.
Yeah. I actually think in a lot of ways, I actually like, because, you said he's like Budget Barry. And I actually really like talking to Trism more than that's no offense to Barry. I've seen new stuff that Barry's done and just sort of some of his perceptions on things just, you know, again, I don't agree with, but Barry's a cool dude. But I actually kind of, I actually thought at the time, I thought, man, fucking Trism would be a great, you know, he'd be a really good YouTuber, you know. And that's the weird shit is that you get a lot of these like these guys that either don't have channels or they might have like smaller subs and shit, and you think, man, fucking you guys should be up where Rags is, because you're a better connoisseur of the platform than than what they are doing, you know. Right. Yeah, get Jism on. I'm gonna nickname him Jism, just because
it's sad.
Oh yeah, link. Yeah, I got a link already copied.
Can you send him a link, man?
Yeah, I get Trism in here. I miss Trism actually. He's always been a good dude. All right.
Yeah.
You know, the lowest common denominator is what appeals to the largest number of people, right? And so you get people like Rags who have this little fucking system of I've got cute dog pic, making fun of people. Like you hit all the bullet points for shitty behavior that appeals to people who like drama, and he does it. He does all that stuff. It's like cookie cutter stuff for every one of those things he does.
Yeah.
And people like that are going to be popular because they've got it worked out. They got their little system, you know, and that sucks because there are plenty of amazing YouTubers who like, they do like electronics teardowns and do shit that like I could never imagine, like telling you like all different intricacies of shit, and like people that like know like all kinds of things about movies, or like could break down the complete history of, you know, a video game system, or you know what I mean? Those people, and you see them and they have less subs, and you're like, God dang, you guys. And then you got people who can do like high quality like animations, like super talented people that can do, you know, video, music, all kinds of stuff.
They get the views, but they've only got like 2,000-3,000 subs.
Right.
I'm like, fuck, that's stupid.
It is. It's
but
it's
you know
depressing.
what? It has a lot to do with YouTube too, though, man. YouTube, like for some reason, they know like what sells. You know, they know what sells.
Oh yeah, it's all about advertising.
They got their algorithm set this way on purpose. You know what I mean? This isn't no accident that critiquing channels are going to get more views. You know what I mean?
Right.
They know that there's going to be a back and forth, and they know that there's going to be like.
How much of a mindless drone do you have to be though to be a critic channel? Like
I don't know. Well, we used to. You know, what's funny is like I guess it's the main difference though, isn't it? Like. I mean, when we did our criticisms, Ben, like it wasn't nowhere near to this level. You know what I mean?
No.
It was,
oh God, no.
It was usually just a jab, and the person that was on the receiving end knew it was just a jab, and it was never personal. We never took it to a personal level.
Yeah, we attacked the mentality. You know, we attacked the mentality of, you know, why the fuck are you defending Xbox Live as a gaming service when you got to pay for it? You know, Gears of War 2 really doesn't look that. Well, I mean, to me it was anyway. But like, you know, when I go over my friend's place and I see it playing, you know, after hearing all these Xbox guys or the X bots, you know, as we used to call them, you know, say, oh, this is the fucking greatest looking game ever. It beats Uncharted. And then I see it and be like, nah, that's a pile of shit, right? So it was always above the belt, you know, and you know, there's a lot of parodies about that. It was just a glorious time. But somewhere along the way, it suddenly went from, oh, you're a piece of shit if you got personal, to, oh, well, you know, it's, you know, we have every right to say whatever the fuck we want, and therefore they're on the internet and they have every right to be critiqued. It's like, yeah, but you're not really, like, yeah, you're critiquing, but you know, you're doing it in a way because you want to make sure you're belittling that person as well. So.
Real quick, is my microphone working?
Hey, what's up, Trism?
All right.
What's up, buddy?
Alrighty, awesome. Well, I have a little bit of an interesting take on this. So, while I do agree in the whole, you know, the idea of someone has the right to say whichever they want on the internet, depending on, you know, of course, if you're inciting violence against someone, obviously I'm not. And there's blurred lines there, but the main point, though, is with this, back whenever this response video thing was mainly gaining traction back in, I want to say 2016, somewhere at the end of 2015, it was all more about attacking the ideas and not the people. But somehow, I don't know why, and this is more or less whenever a lot of these channels started attacking politics and the whole SJW craze, that insults were just thrown just all over the place. And I feel like that's sort of conflicted with a lot of different things also in the gaming side of YouTube as well. At least whenever it comes to response videos. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know.
No, that's a good point, man. That's a good point. Yeah. In fact, I would totally respect somebody that was put out a video countering my ideas. That would be great. I would love that because that starts a communication exchange, you know?
Well, I don't waste my time on garbage human beings. Sorry.
Shut up.
But then you wake up every day and look in the mirror, Ben. I mean,
my thing is my thing is
Damn.
Trism, I'm wrong all the time. I know that I am. I need somebody to tell me. But what I don't need is for somebody to lie about me and say a bunch of fake shit so they can build their fucking audience up and then act incredulous when I call them out on it.
And you know, in all honesty, back whenever I actually made videos, man, you guys remember those days? I would try my hardest not to get too personal with people because there was always that thing in the back of my mind that said, what if somehow I'm wrong? And if I'm sitting here acting like a jackass, I feel like that the more that I act like that and it turns out that I am wrong, the more that it's going to come back on me. Rather than, you know, at least being somewhat civil, not, you know, throwing out petty insults and things like that. It just builds your character and makes you look better in the eyes of other people. And that's just sort of been the way that I've looked at it. And that's why I've always been the kind of person that has a lot of patience with people, even though I'm really tired of talking to them.
Yeah.
Well, that's the attitude of a reasonable person, you know? And it's a shame that we don't see that more often. So, yeah, that should be the expectation. It shouldn't be the exception.
But don't you know, because everybody like agrees with the other dude, like that he must be right.
Yeah.
Has to be right. 100%.
I agree. Anyway, I agree, Brim.
But anyway, Tristan, how you been, man? What you been up to? Anything new?
Other than some small things here and there, not really. I got moved into a new place. For those who probably don't know, I'm assuming you all know. I was in the middle of Harvey, and my house got flooded. So I'm in a new place now. Totally new town.
Good though. I mean, you got a new place.
I know. I upgraded my setup, sort of. I had 3 monitors, but I don't like 3 monitors, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that third one.
It's a lot to pay attention to sometimes.
Were you in Houston?
No. Well, I was in the Houston area, but I was I was about 100 miles away from Houston, basically.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So we got about a foot of water in our house, which it isn't, you know, it isn't like completely total or anything, but we just decided, nah, it'd probably just be better to sell it and go somewhere else, somewhere that probably won't flood.
Well, yeah. then you won't have to deal with the mold damage either.
Because it wasn't super terrible. I mean, of course, we'd have to replace a lot of the appliances, the cabinets, the sheetrock, and whatnot. And it can be done. It's just it's not really something we wanted to do.
I'm glad you got out of there, man.
Yay, sheetrock! Woo! No, seriously, that shit sucks. So you guys got into a new place then?
Yep.
Nice, very nice. And you said that you just moved everything into it?
Well, we moved in about a month ago, but we haven't gotten. We just got moved in maybe a couple of weeks ago because getting everything. We still don't even have everything set up. In fact, we have some things. We have some pipe issues with the water to the washing machine. It sort of leaks every now and then, so we're not completely situated, but it is still.
You're like, fuck that, more water, get out of here.
Yeah, basically.
PTSD.
Yeah. But no,
I would never go swimming again if I was in a hurricane. I'd be like, nope, I like being dry.
Well, but all in all, though, it's been pretty good for the last few months. I got some new music equipment, so I'm happy about that. I broke both my guitars though, so I'm a little pissed about that.
Oh, ouch!
How did you break your guitars?
Yeah,
okay. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. I heard it was sexual.
Oh. I thought he was like at the end of a performance, you know, like the rock stars smash the guitars. You know?
No,
he took plucking to a new level.
Oh.
No, it's way less epic. One of them was I had an old 25-year-old acoustic guitar that was just a hand-me-down that I used to practice with when I first got into it. And I love that guitar, but then the bridge came off, and I tried Gorilla Gluing that back, and still it popped off again. So I just decided, yeah, that's going to become a new wall ornament. So my other guitar, though, which is also an acoustic, it's an acoustic electric. I got it used, and for months it worked fine until I realized that there was a giant crack down the neck of it that I thought was just the seam. Well, it sort of came back to bite me whenever the crack kept getting worse and worse, and then the whole headstock just popped off.
Oh,
so,
shit.
Damn.
Yeah. No, I have a picture of it, too.
Damn.
That fucking sucks, man.
But hey, I got it electric, so I still have a guitar to play, so I'm happy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Do you do like some performance stuff, or you just do like local recording stuff, or
I don't like play gigs, if that's what you mean.
Yeah. You're not in a band or anything?
No. Mostly I play. I don't really dabble too much in guitar. I've only been playing for about a month or two. But
okay.
piano I've been playing for just about a couple years now. That's mainly where I focused on.
He used to plink around with his piano in our chats. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, that was months ago. I've gotten way better, but I mean, I don't mean to brag or anything.
What do you do? Like, what kind of music do you play on piano? What's your favorite kind of stuff?
It depends on what mood I'm in. Most of the time, if I know some songs, but most of the time I just sit there and just tinker around and improv. Easier that way.
I got you. Okay.
I used to play piano when I was younger, and like we used to have an
he
upright.
watches the Cyrus video, then he likes death metal because it inspires.
I tell you what, as someone that knows piano too, man, fucking, I just love just sitting there just playing shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just roll some notes together and just go, oh yeah, that's not bad. And then you just sit, and I'll just sit there. I'll be like fucking, no offense to anyone that's got autistic, but I'll be like a really sort of autistic player. I'll just sit there and just go over shit. Over and over again.
I could see Retro looking all autistic, making faces.
And I'll be I'll be getting those notes in my head, like the sound, and then I'll start branching out from it, and it's, you know, further and further. Yeah, no, I fucking love piano, man. It's not the most mobile instrument, but whatever.
I respect the hell out of anybody that can play any kind of instrument. That is some awesome shit, and I have no capability in that regard. So.
Well, I mean, I heard you play the flesh flute, Cyrus.
Well, I don't want to toot my own horn.
Oh,
or do you?
But no, that's really cool. I mean, I always wished I could play piano or anything really, and it's just that's not.
Well, I'll tell you this much: for someone who's learning guitar and started out on piano, learning piano is probably, it maybe not the easiest instrument, but it is pretty easy to actually learn how to play. It's not like other instruments where you have to do like a bunch of stuff just to get it working.
The cool thing about the piano is a lot of the chords and notes transfer over to the guitar. So I mean, if you learn one, you can kind of branch into the other.
I can barely type on a keyboard, let alone play a keyboard.
He's the two-finger hunting pick.
See, Tristan, you guys, what you don't know is this guy learned on a toy Casio.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
A toy Casio.
Wait, who did?
You did, right?
No.
That's
I learned on a Yamaha. It was a Yamaha PSR 353.
Yeah, quit spreading lies and misinformation.
Yeah, that's some garbage level.
Stand this anymore.
You're being quite disingenuous here. I'm gonna have to make a video.
You garbage human being! How dare you?
Trism, did you ever have? Are you self-taught or did you have a teacher?
I'd say predominantly self-taught. I did take lessons at the very beginning of my freshman year, and that's what got me into it.
Did you ever have the coin trick? You ever heard of that?
What's the coin trick?
All right. So when you play piano, basically you're not supposed to like have your, when you play piano, obviously your palms are down and the tops of your hands are supposed to be flat, right? You're not supposed to, like, as you play the keys, have them wobble up and down. You're supposed to keep it flat, and basically only your fingers are the ones that can move. So you imagine like having your hands out and you got to keep them level the whole time. So fucking, they put a coin on the back of your hand. This is like 20 years ago, the Cold War. They put a coin on the back of your hand, and when you play, if you don't drop it, like if it doesn't like fall off, but you've got it down pat. So yeah. Either that or hitting the back of the head with bamboo, whatever. But
so what? So what happens whenever you try to play For Elise? Because you can't play part of that song without turning your whole hand.
I can.
Really?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
I that's actually one of my favorite. That's actually still one of my favorite pieces
Like-
For Elise. Yeah.
Like the second part of it, after you do, the first part that everybody knows, and you hit that low E, and then you hit the E above it. I have to turn my hand, like physically turn it, like rotate it to hit the A flat.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No. I just flip under. I don't know. I
In
can't
Australia,
explain
like
it.
he said, they smack you with bamboo, so he learned not to.
Yeah. You see the bruises on my knuckle? No.
Ben actually has 3 hands. I don't know.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Now he learned how to play with his feet, right?
Yeah. No, it's I don't know. I don't know, man. All I remember, like, because I know what you're playing. You're talking about like right, and then you go yeah, that part. Yeah, man. I fucking no. I don't flip my hand at all like that. Literally, I just
not that part. Not that part. The part that like it's too early in the morning for me to be playing the piano really loud. But the part where you have to hit the low E and then the E above it an octave higher, then you flip your hand to hit an A flat, and then your right hand goes what is it, C E A, and then or something like that. I can play it, but I just don't know the notes off the top of my head. That's
all right. Yeah, I when I sit down, I know where to put my fingers, but yeah, I'm the same. I can't fucking.
The problem is in Australia, the keys are upside down.
Oh, come on, man. You know.
And the music is written in emu. Cyrus knows how to recite it.
Yeah, you're encroaching on my safe space. So.
I don't know.
Trism, you missed out on the most glorious fucking of my country ever in the podcast a few weeks ago. When I told everyone that our military back in the 30s lost to emus. This is no shit.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
It's spread around. Everybody's heard by now.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, like I can't stop talking about it. I just can't believe that shit. A housefly in Australia can kill you, and like the one animal that can't actually poison you, you guys lose to.
I can see spiders, snakes, maybe kangaroos, but emus?
Oh yeah, they're the radical feminists of animals in this country, man. They're just fucking crazy. There is nothing.
Feminists?
They are. They just look at you. They hate you instantly. I mean, they're on the coat of arms. They bullied their way on there.
It's funny. That's really funny. I enjoyed the breakdown of the ammunition that was used, like how many shots it took, like how many rounds of ammunition they expended in this war.
Bro, the fucking raptors at Jurassic Park were fucking jealous, dude. I mean, come on.
For some reason, all I can think about is that scene from Dude, Where's My Car, where the fucking emu chases them. Like I was like, that's Australia right there.
Well, I think I told you last time that the emus are the stunt doubles for the raptors in the Jurassic movies. So,
Yeah, I believe that.
I could see that.
As soon as we bring up the emus, it gets oddly quiet.
Yeah.
This is a sore subject.
Well, tread softly. We don't know if they're outside Retro's house listening to him. I mean,
yeah, it's PTSD moment. Hang on. Give me a minute.
It was an actual war. You don't want to show some
Speaking
respect.
America still gets nervous when we see turbines. I mean, so it is what it is, man.
Did you? Oh, by the way, on Steam you can pre-order Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. So.
Oh, I know. I wish I was able to do the podcast last night. I was gonna rub that in Rambo's face so hard.
It's coming out on the Switch too, I think.
Oh yeah, everything.
Oh, that's hilarious. You know what's funny is excuse me. I want to do the same thing. I wanted to I wish I was home because my first thing was, hey Rambo, so Bandicoot's not so that's coming to Nintendo. Like really coming to Nintendo.
Part of the game is exclusive though to PlayStation. All the Naughty Dog Easter eggs have been taken out.
Oh, what do you fucking do?
Exactly right.
Oh God.
Hasn't that company gone down the shitter? Anyway, a little bit, yeah.
Have they?
I don't think so.
Oh, we have to share. Well, this part's mine. You can't have it.
The funniest thing.
Well, Activision owns that, right? Crash Bandicoot
and Spyro, I think, as well. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. But the funniest thing though is, you know, and this I know this goes beyond the whole fanboy, you know, fictional war or whatever, but it's just funny to see how these companies just really don't care about the fan base. They just want to make money on the game, so they're like, screw it, we'll just put it on Steam. More people will probably buy it there. It's like they don't care about like the fan base and whatnot and what they want. Because I know a lot of them were wanting it to stay on PlayStation.
Dude, but if one platform outsells Crash on the PlayStation, I'm gonna lose it.
I swear to God, if Switch wins, dude.
Oh, Switch! You know it's gonna sell
I'm gonna laugh at Rambo so hard,
dude. It's gonna out. Dude, you know, it's gonna outsell everything on the Switch version. Will be the one that's because that's how it is right now. Everything sells like crazy on the Switch. Like it's crazy.
People need a reason to have it.
Yeah, right. Oh my goodness, too good.
What the fuck? Hang on. I will say I added Lavon to Discord because I was going to send a link, man. But I don't know what his name is.
Lavon Kaysen.
Yeah, but it's not showing up, even though I did
on
send
Discord.
it
I think it's Mr. Kaysen.
Mr. Kaysen. Yeah.
And then the number.
I tried looking for him earlier, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I could have sworn he's in my DMs. Like, I'm pretty sure we've messaged each other at least once. Fuck.
0418. That's his. Send friend request. Has been escorted by the most elite disc. Yeah, shut up with your funny shit. All right.
So, are y'all completely moved in, Trism, or?
For the most part, yeah. We've pretty much got everything, all the furniture moved in already. Everything now that I'd say really be worth getting would just be accessories. Things that aren't ruined.
Like wall-mounted dildos and shit.
Basically, yes.
Can't replace a good wall mount.
See, Brim and I are just on the same page here. Great minds.
As long as you didn't screw it into the house, the frame of your old house, it should rip right out of the wet sheetrock.
Brim, if you have any extra, maybe you could just.
I know, like I'm fucking with Trism, but I've missed you, man. Like I've missed talking to you. I'm glad everything's okay with you. It's just my way of like fucking with him because it's kind of my way of catching up with him.
Brim actually has one. Like his roommates have a couple of shower mounted ones. So, I
mean, oh my God. Air quotes again around roommates. His roommates.
No, like it's funny as shit because when he got them, he's like, "You better not use that in my shower." And it's just it's fucking funny because they're both gay. So I
don't know. I'm thinking now. Brim had the lavender candle. And
don't talk shit on candles. I use them.
Starting to think something, maybe. Evidence is piling up. Let's just say
a nice candle should relax you. If it doesn't, Cyrus, you're a garbage human being.
Well, we've already established. So.
Oh, there he is. Cool. Hey, you guys have all seen Grandma's Boy, right?
Oh, I love that movie.
That's like my mantra. Okay, so who was like the dickhead dude that created like gaming so young? Who was that? What was his name again? The guy that wanted a metal fucking leg and shit, like metal leg.
Oh, that
it's the one that always made the sound effects, or I think it's the one.
Yeah, no, he's the one that did the sound effects.
Yeah, I forgot his name though.
He's a dickbag, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Is that like the mantra of your life right there, Retro? Is that
that could be Rags, right?
Oh, right.
I'm the hot chick.
And then you would be Graybush.
I'm the hot chick. Brem is the dude where he's trying to make that what was that fucking game that he was making on the Xbox?
That's
you're that dude. Shay, you're the fucking golden girl. You're the grandmother.
What? What do you give me that character for? Can I at least be the stoner?
Cyrus can be that dude that was sucking on that tit all night.
Wow.
Do that. To that, Cyrus.
Sounds appropriate. I'll take it. That'll work.
Yeah.
He's the young fat guy. Okay, I gotcha.
I didn't say fat. Come on. Yeah.
I've been called much worse.
Cyrus, at least it's better than being an old fat guy. I mean,
yeah, we're making progress actually.
Oh, that reminds me, Cyrus, do you still live in your mother's basement?
Yeah. This is like you calling
to cut the umbilical cord.
This is like Brimstone being called a wordsmith. It's actually not
Hell yeah, I live in my mother's basement. I don't pay rent. Fuck you guys.
No, he lives in the attic. No, he lives in the attic because you get better Wi-Fi up there.
Fuck yeah.
He's a fat guy though, so he's got to watch where he steps, or he's going to end up in the living room. I mean,
we don't have basements here.
Well, yeah, it's a giant island.
Retro, you're in Australia. You don't have a lot of things there.
Seriously, we actually don't have basements at all. Like it's not a thing that we have as for housing.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine you dig into the ground would probably kill you too. Fucking
there might be like a fucking toxic Avenger ant down there somewhere.
Yeah.
So.
Toxic Avenger.
Whatever's in Australia.
Toxic Avenger.
What's up?
Christ.
What's up?
Hey man.
Hi.
Welcome.
That's Levon. He's about to be corrupted.
Really? Are you sure that's Levon?
Dude, Levon's already corrupted. He's talked to us for years. He's straight out of Compton. You don't even know.
Yo, my dude comes out of Atlantic City. He lives his life 3 miles at a time.
That's 3 miles.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Levon, you're gonna scare the people. What are you doing on video?
Is that video? I thought for a second I was hallucinating. I was like, is his picture moving?
His picture's not even moving, Cyrus.
Like, why are only his teeth showing? What's up with this?
Turn on the lights and stop smiling, Levon.
Too good, too good.
Well, what's up, Levon? We haven't talked in a while, man.
What's up?
How's it been?
Good.
Right on.
You be
Start
pimping
your job?
hoes.
You start your job yet, Levon?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Wait, you got a job?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
No, I thought you were applying at Costco or something.
I haven't gotten a phone call.
Jeez, you got to bring shit up right off the bat. Damn. Now he's gonna be depressed the whole rest of the time.
No, man, he's 18. He's trying to break out into the workforce.
You're such a disingenuous asshole.
Sorry, I can't please you guys anymore.
I feel bad for Levon now. Comes in here and gets a 3rd degree right away. So, how's the job? You got a job, right?
Last time we spoke, he talked about a Costco job. So, fuck you, Cyrus.
So, you've been cleaning up everything, right? You take out the trash every day, huh? You take out the trash?
Clean your ass, Levon. No, I'm glad everything's going well with you, Levon. I hope you do get a call back though. That'd be kind of cool.
Okay.
Are you nervous?
A little bit, but not too much.
Now, shit.
Costco would be a pretty good job. I mean,
yeah, it would. So, most people probably already know. Game Talk hasn't really been around for like almost 2 weeks now.
No, we ran it last week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
It felt like a couple days ago. I saw one of you guys doing a live stream.
I'm not sure. I've been so like in and out of it, and I have no idea. But I'm almost positive it was last week. I hosted, because I put a bunch of pictures of women in very revealing yoga pants on the screen because it's Women's History Month or some shit like that.
Sounds about right.
Women's History Month? What do they need history for? From growing a vagina? Like,
they just recently were allowed to vote or drive or some shit, so they get a month.
Wait, I forgot. I was confused on why Retro was confused that we had that month, or we had.
He's in Australia.
So. Oh wait, America is the world.
They have like Poisonous Spider Appreciation Month, not Women's History Month. Yeah. So every episode of the Game Talk that I host anyway in March, which I should be able to do both of them next week. It's been a really bad week. I'm going to have next week, Rambo and I were talking with Pete, and it's going to be bikinis. So we're going to appreciate women every episode.
What, does that mean we're all going to have to wear bikinis?
Well, I mean, I thought you'd look pretty good in one, Cyrus. So
I can pull it off, but I don't know if everybody else can.
It's like, go get my banana hammock and a bra. I got this.
I've seen Borat. I know what to do.
I know where this is going. Where's my midget?
Noon.
So did anyone watch the direct?
Oh yeah.
I know Metro did, and
it was good.
Hyped up on it, so
yeah, it was good because they showed like Smash and some Splatoon DLC. It was one of their better directs I've seen in months. Although I'm gonna sound like a dick for saying this, but I wanted more out of it.
Yeah,
It was okay.
Well, they're saving stuff for E3.
Oh yeah, that's a thing. Still, I forgot about that.
E3 for gamers is like going into the mental hospital and taking away their medications, right?
That's everyday
It's just
life for
crazy.
me anyway, so I'm used to it.
E3 to me, watching an E3 conference is like getting your game news from a GameStop commercial. That's how it feels to me. It just feels like overdeveloped, just hype culture. I don't know. I just don't like it. I'm too tired.
Come on, man! It's supposed to be the next big thing that we should all,
It has in the last like 6 or 7 years gotten way more mainstream, and it's ruined a lot of it. Like before you know it, fucking Snickers and Doritos are going to bring us the next E3. I mean,
Well, they could do the Oscars, and just make it all political.
Oh yeah.
it might be
In
a
the
little
Last
more
of Us,
entertaining
in the
if they
Last
do
of
it.
Us 2,
Gaming's so
we're
black.
not going to shoot any animals to survive. Right? We're vegan. We're just going to eat a tree, and we're back. All right,
Fucking
because we don't
Retro's like,
believe
why
in
don't you
hurting
come to
animals.
Australia and say you're not going to shoot an animal? Come on.
No, you know what? The next step in Oscars is going to be like added categories. They're going to be like, for the best supporting actor of a transgender model.
Oh my god.
Who also is black goes to
Wesley Snipes.
he was a transgender in that movie Tu Wong Fu or something.
Yeah, he was good in that movie too.
He plays a good bitch.
No, but seriously though, about E3, you guys want a good drinking game? Take a look at all the games that are going to come out in the next E3, and take a drink if you think that game's going to be broken whenever it comes out.
Broken or canceled. Shit, we'd all be.
yeah, you.
So what do you guys think of the next generation of gaming?
I think it will be the next generation.
No, I think I have a pretty good feeling like the next generation of gaming is going to be way better than this one.
Supposedly, the PS5 dev kits have been sent out. Supposedly.
Well, that's normal though. They usually
That's still like 3 years before launch, so we're good.
yeah, right.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they're taking that step already. I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh really? Oh. I don't know. I wonder what the specs will be. Like,
Don't worry. We'll still be on mobile chipsets, guys.
Yeah.
probably.
PS5 is going to be on the new Intel Neutrino. Oh fuck!
They're going to bring back the AMD Turon or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, right. Or you know what? The AMD Tricore, the Kuma, or the Puma.
Yeah, which was a great chip for like Word, but
Oh, it's an overclocked Atom. An overclocked Atom. Be great.
The next
Sorry,
big
I'm
thing.
tired of that attitude. You need to shut your mouth.
No, the next big thing is going to be turning your smartphone into a console.
Hang on, wait, I got it. I know.
Fortnite is
I want
launching-
no. I want a transgender console. Right? No, you think
that's
I want a
an iPhone.
PlayStation that thinks it's a fucking Xbox. Right? That's what I want.
That's an iPhone. Just get an iPhone and a controller. You already got it.
I mean, we're one step away from Xbox games being on PlayStation. I mean,
Crash Bandicoot's going to be. So
I still think
Shay's not letting that one go.
nope. That's my story of the year so far. You don't even know. Because what was it? In like November or so last year, Brim and I told Rambo on a podcast that it's going to end up coming to another platform. We didn't say Xbox specifically. And he's like, no, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. And he argued with us about it. And I'm like, there's strong rumors that it will. Nope, they're all fake. All right.
Well, Crash was on original Xbox, wasn't it? Like one of the Crash games?
But that was then and this is now, Cyrus. They wouldn't do that again.
The only advantage of this climate of gaming is the fact that because there's so much corporate greed, that as gamers, there's a very, very likely chance that games will come to other platforms. So, you know, when I first heard about Crash, I'm thinking, well, it's fucking Activision, right? When are they going to say no to money? You know, they're going to stick it on other shit, guaranteed. And look what they did. You know,
I still have the belief that in the next generation of gaming, we're going to see more unification than anything. I mean, we already had it this generation with Xbox and PC molding together. And PlayStation tried with PlayStation Plus, or what was it? Was it PS Now, or what was it?
Yeah, PS Now, yeah.
PS shit. I mean, now, yeah.
Basically, yeah. I mean, it was still, they tried. And I still think that with the more that people sort of diverge to different platforms, the more that these companies are going to try to cast a wider net over all of these different platforms to try to basically make more money off of people. I mean, that's just what I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
they can call it non-binary.
We're starting to see cross-play stuff like Rocket League and Minecraft.
Minecraft, they're trying to get every platform on board with that, and that's
Sony's giving them a hard time though, which that sucks.
It's fucking Sony though. I mean,
Sony's in the lead. That's the only reason.
Yeah. Well, they're not just in the lead. God dang, it's like crazy. Like,
oh, I know. They're way into the lead, and they want to try to hold that position. They want to try to stay in the lead to squeeze as much money out of that as possible.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's interesting that that Sony was struggling with the PS3 and they were willing to shake.
And then they got back on top.
And they get on top and they're like, "Fuck everybody."
Yeah. See, Sony are only good when they're losing because they have to try harder to win people back, and then they want them back. You know, do you know how much they'd be making even more of a killing if they didn't charge for like PS Plus, things like that. And especially when they've got two other platforms that have free online gaming with their Vita and the PS3.
Plus its original thing, which was a discount service.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't have to tie the online up to that. They didn't have to do that.
If Microsoft could just figure out how to get games again, like they would be. I think the public, goodwill is definitely shifted over because people really like the Xbox One X a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a games problem, They've got to get that figured out.
They need to stop relying on my favorite series. Like, that's the thing. Like, I love my series. I love Forza. I love fucking Halo.
Need to make new IPs, bro.
They need more IPs, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't see that potentially happening anytime soon.
Nah, neither do I.
Because back then, it seems like companies actually tried back then with making games. That's why games back then were so good. By back then, I mean like 10 years ago.
What do y'all think about these rumors about Microsoft going into some kind of partnership with some Japanese developers? Like,
that'd be great.
I don't know.
That'd be awesome.
I don't know the validity of that because I know Japan does not like the Xbox.
Right,
but they do like Microsoft though.
They've been posting announcements that they've visited Microsoft. They put pictures up and everything of visiting with the Microsoft execs and coming to America. And so there's been a lot of these rumors spreading around because of this. And I think Sega was one of the companies that
don't say Sega in front of Retro because that's not what it's called.
Sega. It's fucking Sega.
Sega.
Fucking Sega.
All right. Whatever.
Come and tell me it ain't Sega. Come on.
We're losing sight of the goal here. Let's stay on target. Like, come on. Stay
damn it.
In the English grammatical sense, it is Sega.
We'll just say in the interest of like unification here, we'll just say Sega, and it will all.
It's like Sonic.
You're giving up. Cyrus, that's not
That
cool.
one company that exists.
And the worst part is you're giving up to an Aussie. What's wrong with you?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
you're right. These are the guys that lost the war to the emu.
See, all you gotta do is put it into perspective for you, and you catch right back on. Good.
Have you guys seen the Nyko speaker comm or the charge station for the Xbox One?
No.
No.
The speaker comm, right, plugs into your controller like a headset adapter would, and it has push to talk on it and a microphone, and you know your game will come out of there. So like when you were using your Xbox on the beanbag deal, and you were hooking up like the little phone speakers to your controller because your monitor didn't have speakers, that's basically what this is for.
So
Plus, it's got a microphone on it.
wait, let me get this straight. So they have a speaker. That's cool. It's a speaker that you can use, but it also has a microphone on it. That's the problem. That's sort of making me a little.
I know, right? I'm like,
Well, it's got a push to talk button on the back, so it's not always hot.
True.
oh, okay, that's not.
Well,
bad.
yeah, but still, you ever played a game of Counter-Strike with someone on a laptop, and every time they turn on push to talk, you can hear their game echoing like endlessly through it. I just
Oh
don't.
yeah,
I just hope that doesn't happen. I don't know. It's,
Sort of like sometimes during this show, like whenever Brim's playing or whatever, and you hear like the video game, like all the echoing and stuff like that. Sort of like the same type of thing. Is that what you're talking about?
I think you're high, sir.
Nobody thought that was funny.
but
Nyko's put out some good shit lately.
I honestly think that, and I hope that we get to a point where, very much like what we have on PC, where these companies start to move away from having the like dedicated hardware and simply creating operating systems that could be installed on any hardware. You know, I said this ages ago. Where imagine, you know, whether it's a box that is basically a PC, but you plug in your computer, you can log in to PlayStation, you can log into Xbox, and you can swap on the fly. Very much like on PC, how we can roll
log
between
into Nintendo.
Yeah, exactly. Right, and then you're then using the Xbox operating system, and then you know exclusives wouldn't matter so much. Well, I mean, it wouldn't matter so much because yes, they can still get their exclusives, but you're not having to get multiple hardware to do it. You know,
That's not going to happen anytime soon, especially with Nintendo.
Wait, Richard, do you mean sort of like how emulator ROMs work in a way, or no?
Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, like if you view it, you know, as most of us here, like you view it as a PC. So I have currently running at the moment Origin, Steam, Battle.net, Uplay, maybe WarNetGaming.net, which is their front end for like World of Warships, that sort of thing. Right, I can click on any one of those without needing to get a whole different computer. You know,
Yeah.
So
I agree.
yeah, so it'd just be cool that these companies go, okay, look, you know, let's improve our software, very much like how, you know, I mean, Microsoft Software King, obviously their hardware shit, right? But at the end of the, well, it's not shit, but you know, it's like that's not their strength. But
Their software just conflicts with their hardware. Really, to tell you the truth.
But what
Yeah, well,
about
that's true.
DirectX 12 in the cloud, though?
Booking
The cloud,
three
yeah.
operating systems to fucking work one console. Retarded.
Yeah.
But no, I see where you're coming from, though. Sort of like having multiple sort of. I don't know if you mean DRMs or not. But sort of like having multiple DRMs for different platforms, like
they have something like that, guys. That it's not mainstream, but there's that guy that'll put both consoles into a laptop for you.
Oh yeah, I've seen.
Really?
Yeah, it's called the X Station. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. I've seen like that video
That's
pop up.
so expensive, though.
Saw that
it
video
is,
pop up.
but-
I saw it pop up in the suggested feed, but I don't know if it's real or not, and I never knew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, the guy actually does really good work. I'll be honest.
All you got to do is you get some duct tape and get them two consoles together, right? And you just slap them together, get a little LCD monitor. I'm on there. I'm gonna say.
Cyrus is fluent in redneck, so.
And I'm not. That's the funny thing.
It's in there. It's hiding. It's in there.
Although I'm more of a Louisianan than anything.
You're from Texas. Cyrus
I am.
knows how to speak your language.
I don't speak
I mean,
Louisianan very well, though.
I'm in the southeast. I'm in southeast Texas, like right against Louisiana. So
I know it's hard to understand if you're not from Texas, but this fucking state is like so big that we have different dialects, we have different cultures.
You're not like literally. I've met people from like the Panhandle of Texas, and they speak totally different from down here. Down here, everybody has like a Cajun accent. Up there, they talk like normal people. So,
dude, I'm from West Texas, which is basically a desert, and then if you drive to East Texas, it looks like the fucking forest indoor from fucking Return of the Jedi.
It does.
The state is too big. It's crazy.
It's weird. So the west side is just a giant desert. The east side is a giant forest. Now it's become a swamp, but that's irrelevant.
It's
up north,
scary too, man, because that fucking water comes right up to those roads. Like, I would never be able to live over there. I would be scared out of my fucking mind.
Oh, it ain't that bad until every 10 some odd years you get flooded. Up north is like a giant city, basically, with like Dallas, Fort Worth, Amarillo.
That's where I'm at. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it is a giant city that goes down the entire center of the state. It's like it starts in Dallas and goes all the way to San Antonio.
Oh, yeah, it's a very diverse state. Very big state.
Oh, shit. Here, Bram, I sent you something I just found. Since you're such a Forza fan, I didn't know Xbox had an officially licensed racing wheel.
Wait,
how much is it?
$100.
100? That's cheap.
And it's hoary too, so it's good.
I need a racing wheel. I love Forza games.
I don't have the room for a racing wheel. I barely have enough room for my microphone right here.
We're sorry, so I'll send it to you too.
Gracias.
Grassy ass? What do you want me to do to your ass?
Dude, he wants you to go into it like he's going for groceries.
Shouldn't be a problem. It's just about breakfast time for me. So,
God,
I was gonna say it's about breakfast time for me too. I was gonna get off of here.
Yeah, I gotta go to bed.
All right, I'll go ahead and stop the broadcast like usual. So just so we're clear, every one of you motherfuckers that are in here now are forever gonna be chastised, and you're gonna be all disingenuous pricks.
Yes.
All right.
Yay.
All right.
Y'all are.